What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody. I am your host, Love Coach Scott Thomas, and welcome to the Saturday night edition of The Awakening World. We have a really wonderful show, an amazing group of extraordinary healers, medical intuitives are here live with us, along with some of our favorite musical artists, to really create a beautiful Saturday night. So welcome. Glad to have you all with us. I see a lot of our friends, our regulars in the Zoom room. And I also want to welcome those of you who are watching on Alan Steinfeld's YouTube channel or our YouTube channel. A lot of you are watching through the Conscious Awakening Network. That's our newest broadcast partner. And most of you are watching on Facebook through one of the groups of pages that carries us through the Sign Network. That's S-I-N-E. And I really want to thank John and Summer Raymer who make that happen. They're good friends, and we love reaching all of you that way. Now, here's the thing. I want to invite you to come on in and join the Global Peace Tribe. It's really easy to do that. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com. That's the website that you're seeing behind me right here. And join. Click where it says join our new season. And we do 3 or 4 shows every weekend. And the shows are all quite dynamic. So for example, on Friday night, or Wednesday night, I apologize, we did a show on the power of self-acceptance with several of the love coaches that I work with that I really respect and admire. Last night, we did a fascinating show. You know, it was January 6th, the anniversary of that very infamous day. And we brought together a wonderful group of people to talk about how to heal the polarization in our country. And that was a very beautiful show. This is tonight's show that you're watching right now, and it's going to be amazing with all these beautiful healers. And then tomorrow, we work very frequently with the Evolutionary Leaders Network, and one of their groups is the Artists Catalyzing Evolution. They're going to be with us. They come in once every month, and they're going to be sharing dance, music, poetry, honoring our friend Rick Olfek, who's waiting to get a heart transplant. And I guess maybe what you see from all of these different shows that we did just this week is you get a taste of what the Global Peace Tribe is all about. We are definitely about inspiring while also informing. These are incredible times, the transformational times, and all of us are on our own hero's journey personally as our planet wakes up, as humanity wakes up, and we're here to all do it together. An advantage also to registering is you're going to get the links to all of our shows for the next 3 months. And that way you can come on into the Zoom room and directly dialogue with us, get the links, chat with us, ask questions. And in the case of tonight, possibly get a spontaneous healing or medical intuitive reading from one of our guests. So there's a lot of reasons to join us. one of my favorite reasons to join us is we have amazing people like Jennifer K. Hill, who I am so blessed to collaborate with now on a regular basis. She is everywhere. She recently posted that she had been geographically in 4 different continents in less than a week. I'm sure there's going to be a popular website. You remember Where's Waldo? It's going to be Where's Jennifer Hill, because she's all over the world doing amazing things, meeting incredible healers and teachers and leaders and bringing us all together. So she's who's really put together tonight's show. And thank you so much, Jennifer. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you, Scott. It's always such a pleasure to be here. I'll wake up anytime at 2 a.m. to be with you and your audience. So no matter where I am in the world, whether it's Dubai, Portugal, Mexico, I think was the last time I did a show with you. And it's just so much fun. And I'm so deeply grateful. We actually launched Om Heals with you last year when I had COVID on healing from the inside out on February 19th. So that will always stay in my mind.
Beautiful. Well, I'd love for you to introduce our audience to some of our friends that you've invited for tonight that we're going to get to know.
Yeah, we're so excited. We have some incredible practitioners here from Om Heals, along with one of my collaborators and dear friends, Kimberly Meredith, world famous intuitive author of the book Awakening to the Fifth Dimension. Kimberly, so happy to have you here with me, my friend, and big kudos to our mutual friend Noah, who put us together. So hugs to you, and can't wait to do our class together later this year.
Yes, thank you for having me here tonight. It's really exciting. I can't wait to do our class.
Yeah, me too. Well, such a pleasure. And we have some incredible healers here from Om Heals. We have with us Razan. Razan is joining us today, normally in North Carolina, but she's actually with us today from my home area, San Diego. So Razan, one of the best QHHT practitioners I've ever come across, cannot say enough good things about her. Big hugs to Razan and to
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so thank you for being here, my friend.
Yeah.
And we also have with us today Veronica Parks. Veronica Parks is also in California and is an extraordinary soul healer, originally from Eastern Europe, and is going to be sharing her wisdom with us at the end of the show today. Thank you, Veronica, for being here.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure and honor to be here. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you. I'm so grateful to know you. Gosh, so many wonderful people. Brenda Ferrugia. Brenda is a fantastic healer out of Eastern Canada who has done many unity field healings for me and many others around the world, including beam therapy, and is just a ray of light. It's always such a pleasure to be with you, Brenda. Thanks for being here with us.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm very excited. Thank you.
Yes, and Holly Copeland. Speaking of people in California, we have a lot of West Coasters here today. Holly actually just recently moved to California, and just so grateful to Holly. You have introduced me to so many incredible people. You're a sound healer, biofeedback. You've introduced me to some of my favorite people, Stephen Altair, shout out to him. So thank you for being with us today, Holly.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. I am just delighted to be here. Hello, everyone.
My pleasure. And of course, we also have with us today Aurora Luna Star joining us from Sedona, literally glowing and emanating light. You know, Aurora is part of an amazing group of healers out in the Sedona area and is just radiant. Everything she does, she is a brilliant intuitive who brings light and magic and love to all things she does. And I am so grateful to know you, my friend.
I'm so grateful to know you, Jennifer. I'm grateful to both you and Scott for the fun of this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. It's really fun because Aurora's been on the show a few times, and I was so excited when Jennifer said, "Oh, Aurora's going to be." I was like, "Oh, God." So.
I love we're all interconnected. As Deepak would always say, we're entangled. All of us are just entangled in this quantum world. And I love that Maureen is with us today too. Edwardson, also out of Canada, who I happen to know. And Scott's like, hey, Maureen's going to finish the show for us today. I was like, I love Maureen. How does life get any better than this? I'm so excited.
Well, the one way that life gets better is that we also have amazing music. And tonight, our beloved house musical artist, Omashar, who is almost always with us and has just brought so much to the awakening world. He's become just a really big part of the Global Peace Tribe, very beloved brother. So we have Omashar. And then we also have one of our other favorite artists, Fanny and Vigari. And, you know, Fanny and Vigari have probably played on this show more than any other musicians other than Omashar, who's here every weekend. So we love you guys and really looking forward to having you play your beautiful, beautiful music with us tonight.
Thank you. Our pleasure.
And just a reminder to everybody that we love to read your comments. So again, that's why it's a good reason for people watching on Facebook to come on into the Zoom room. I try and track Facebook because there's so many different Facebook groups and pages. It's hard for me to do that. But Jennifer and I really read carefully what's coming in terms of comments from our audience. For example, I'll read just a couple that are right here. Dia writes, wow, just when you think it can't get any better, voila, which is really, really true. And so we are going to definitely share your thoughts and comments, and we're going to choose some of you to receive readings from Kimberly and perhaps from some of our other guests. And then at the end, Maureen's going to do something for everybody. So it's going to be a very interactive show. So start giving us your thoughts and your comments. Jennifer, anything you'd like to add before we go to Omashar?
Gosh, so much. So thank you to everybody for being here. Just know your presence here means that you're just in the right place at the right time. You know, sometimes we're like, oh, I could go out on the town tonight and go dancing, and yet we have music right here. And so for whatever reason, you chose to be right here in this space with us. And speaking of music, I know Holly Copeland is also going to be facilitating midway through a sound healing. So every single one of these incredible healers I've worked with, and they just vibrate at such a high level. And I'm so grateful. I would not be able to travel around the world if it wasn't for all of these incredible healers. I remember I called Brenda freaking out in the south of France. I'm like, Brenda, help. I'm like throwing up. I don't know what's wrong. She's like, lay down, Jen. I'll be with you in 30 minutes. And, you know, helped heal me, as many of you have. So, you know, each and every one of you is just so instrumental to my lives and the lives of those you touch. Thank you.
Beautiful. It's really great to have you all here, and looking forward to hearing what you all have to say. But let's get going with some music, which is always a wonderful way to kind of get the energy running. And I call him the Alpha and Omega Man because he tends to begin and end all of our shows. And of course, I'm talking about beloved brother Omashar.
That's right. The first letter of my name is A and the last one is Z, or if you're British, it's Z. So namaste and aloha, everybody. And let's just take a few deep breaths and come into the center of our hearts. And just let go of all expectations so we can be all fully present here with each other tonight. And the one I am has always been here, whispering songs of life and love. Come with knowing our day draws nearer. Come with joy and endless love. And sacred dancing breathes our heart song. And silent yearning keeps alive. A union blessed before beginning, preordained beyond all time. step I take is one step closer to you. A joyous stride into the new. Each breath I breathe takes me inside your heart. Now I remember how to feel, and I remember how to fly. The one I am, fly. I am that I am, and open to our sacred merger, and shedding tears of divine bliss. And every movement tells a story, and nothing could compare with this. And here in fullest understanding, and breathing light through every word, our lives become so undemanding, and finally seen, finally heard. Each step I take is one step closer to you. A joyous stride into the new. Each breath I breathe takes me inside your heart. Now I remember how to feel, and I remember how to fly. The one I am, I am that I am, the one I am. I am that I am, the one I am. I am that I am.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Hey, are you noticing that every week more and more people are dancing?
I know. What's happening? They must have their own wonderful sound system at home. There's the second song I'll sing later on. It's got this. Be good if everyone has headphones on. It's got this insane drum track on it. So get your headphones ready for later.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for moving and grooving the music. It's just beautiful to see all the lovely faces, and I just love our Peace Tribe. We've got people from all over, from Ecuador to Pennsylvania to British Columbia to Australia. So it's truly global. And to remind everybody that, of course, Omar Shah is with us for almost every show, but you can also get his music, and let's support him. Go to omarshar.bandcamp.com, omarshar.bandcamp.com, and pick up his albums. It's a great way to support him. And every song he does is wonderful. They all are in my head now.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Omar Shah. You're such an important part of this show. Thank you so much. I'm going to let Jennifer do most of the introduction for Kimberly, but I do want to start by just sharing something. The last time Kimberly was on this show, she did a reading that another couple saw. Long story short, they reached out to her, and even though the husband was very skeptical, didn't believe in this sort of thing, they did a private session with Kimberly that led to her seeing a concern about the husband's wife they got it checked out, and Kimberly's intuitive reading, according to the husband, and this is what he said to me in text, saved my wife's life. So, Kimberly, I just want to acknowledge you for the work that you do, the lives that you change, the lives that you transform. And that's a very direct experience that we had through the Global Peace Tribe and through your work with us. So I wanted to make sure people knew about that. And then I'll turn it over to Jennifer to do a little bit more of the introduction.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Scott. And yeah, that story blows my mind. I mean, from the first moment that Noah introduced you and I, Kimberly, I could just tell we were kindred spirits. I often get sent people's books to read, and honestly, I'm in the middle of reading 30 books at any given time. And your book, Kimberly, Awakening to the Fifth Dimension, I remember devouring it. I remember reading it cover to cover in less than, a week or so, because it is so powerful. If you haven't read it out there, Kimberly really dives into what is the fifth dimension. Honestly, I didn't even know what that was before I met Kimberly and started reading about it. And I'm so grateful to be able to collaborate with you, my friend, and all the wonderful work you're doing in the world. You have so many great events coming up. You have the Consciousness Expo. You have an event in Sedona, I think, coming up in March. We have our class together in April. And then, of course, you have your incredible Angel Club for people who want to register and just get regular workshops and information from you. I mean, I just love you so much, my friend, and I'm so happy you're here with us today.
Thank you. I'm really happy I'm here today. I love being of service. I love helping. Yes.
You are incredible. And for those of you who don't know Kimberly or have not read her book, she went through not one, but two near-death experiences that led to these incredible powers where she uses this blinking to be able to ascertain if anybody has a physical ailment. And I just, kudos to you, my friend, the beautiful work, the lives that you save. Thank you for the heart and soul and healing that you bring to the world.
Thank you, Jennifer. So I have been tested by various institutes, my work, and the book Awakening to the Fifth Dimension, people are really appreciating it because there's a lot of information in there about how to open up your own abilities. There's also a lot of science in it and exercises. And what Scott was speaking about was that we had a class here, and my guides are not only finding information about the root cause of maybe emotional and physical information that's going on in your body, but we had found a lady in the room that the guides kept saying, you need to get your heart checked out. And she didn't have any information about that. She didn't know anything. She was more concentrated on other things that were going on in her body. But what happened is that she kept hearing my voice over the last couple of days. And so her and her husband went and got that checked out. And it so had happened that she needed a heart surgery. And so they were really, really grateful that they had come into the room that we have like today, and that my guides have kept saying, you need to get your heart checked out, because I didn't want to say that I knew that she was going to have something happen, but I hear all the time, my guides tell me things, and we connect things. So we did know that she had other things going on. And in the class, she had said, yes, that those were going on, but she didn't know that she had the heart. So if you guys would like a reading, I'm more than happy to do a reading right now, and I'll probably do a reading later in the class today. I so love being of service, and I love doing preventative readings and also I actually love communicating to the other side. A lot of times when I look in the room right now, I do see some of your loved ones trying to communicate with you. And what's happening is that's a new gift that came about. A lot of people from the other side, as we know, the veil is very thin, and they want to help us. They love to come in and communicate and help us move our gifts and be there for us, especially right now, since the world is shifting fast. So we can do that if you like.
I'm going to go to gallery view.
Dr. Laura, it looks like I see in the chat that Dr. Laura is interested. And Scott, if you can just tell me if my volume's a little better. I see Donna said my volume was low, so I just increased that. Just give me a thumbs up if everybody's good. Sorry.
It's up to you, Kimberly. Do you want to pick somebody that I know that you like looking and scanning the room. So is there somebody that's standing out for you?
Yeah, so we're just going to do one little mini reading right now, and then we'll probably do another one later. So I'm just going to pick one little mini reading right now. I did, when I looked through the room, I was getting a message. Let me see. You said there was a Dr. Laura. Let me see Dr. Laura for a minute, and then I'll see the lady. I could do the other person later.
So Dr. Laura, you need to turn your camera on.
Yeah, you have to have the camera on. And then, but there was another lady that I saw, and I was getting a message for her. I don't see Dr. Laura's.
I don't see her camera on.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to message, you have to have the camera on. Oh, let me do the little thingy. Hi, everybody.
I see that Bonnie and Roger have raised their hands.
And Pat and Sherry
and
as
Pat.
well. Everybody wants a reading. I mean, Kimberly, you can go to her website. She's incredible.
Yes, I do this all day long, and I have an office in Encino, but I also am online. I do a lot. Okay, so I am getting a message for a pretty strong message for her. Name is Marem.
Marem, yeah, she just said she would love one as well. I love that. Marem just asked. So Marem, let's get you on camera, my friend. Great to have you here.
Actually, Mayor Rem.
Marem, yes.
Thank you, Marem.
Thank you.
Thanks. And I'll take myself back out to speaker so I can both. Okay, great. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. And how are you?
I'm great. So I'm already getting, okay, so how I work is I hear the guides talking, and they come in and give me messages with codes and numbers. I'm not sure if you've ever seen me do readings before, or have ever been around me. Okay, yeah. So some people know my work and some people are very new to it. So you can write down this, or you can remember it or hear this back later at a replay, but I'm getting messages. They come in super fast. I'm seeing a number 8 above your head, which is a soul connection, soulmate. So soul 8 number, I'm going to just scribble it down on a paper. That means that someone crossed over from the other side that was a soulmate. And it's the infinite sign, the infinity sign, meaning the person was with you in another life and has been connected to you for many lives over and over again. And the person wanted to come in right away and be in the reading. And they're saying to me, they're with you every day. They're around you all the time. I'm asking, is it a male or is it a female? Their presence is very soft and kind, and it's a female. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but this person is a woman, and she's saying to me, she likes, okay, so she's saying, I'm with you every day, I'm around you. And she's saying to me, Kimberly, tell her that she's, okay, so she wants to talk to you about, she wants to take over the health reading. Oh. So it feels like it's sort of a mother. It could be either mother or grandmother, but it seems a very strong motherly feeling to me.
Okay, and what comes to my mind is I had an Aunt Mary that just was, I was really connected with, and she's passed away a long time ago. I don't know. I also have, both of my grandmothers have passed on.
It does feel like a very mothering energy, and it's definitely a soul connection that has been this person that was a Mary. Were you, how did she feel towards you?
She and I wrote since I was 6 years old, and I visited her when I was 18, and like we had this great connection.
Okay. And your own mother, where is she?
She's in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay, because your mother, your birth mother, I don't get the same connection. Your birth mother, I get is it okay that I talk about your
That's
birth?
fine, and it's just
Okay, so I know we're supposed to very mini reading right now, but your birth mother, I get a negative energy off of, and this Mary, I get the mother energy. The Mary, I get this complete warm, loving feeling, and she is, I mean, I don't want to get emotional, but she is the mother, and she's coming in and saying, Kimberly, move away. I don't want you to do the medical reading. I'm doing the medical reading. I'm her mother. I'm with her 7 days a week. I'm her guardian angel. I'm here to help you. And also she's saying, there's something about the back of your head and your neck she wants you to pay attention to. Does that make any sense about the neck and the back?
Yes, I've been sitting a lot today, Zooming, and I have PT that I'm doing around that.
Yeah, she's saying, I want to help you with that. Let her be involved in that. When you're doing your healing, call her in to help the back of the neck. She's also saying something about, she's telling me, make sure you tell her about some specific collagen that I could help you about that. And she's saying, Kimberly, you could tell her about some other modalities that I could tell you to do. Also, she's telling me about, she wants me to ask you for you to tell me what kind of service work do you do?
I work with people who are wired differently. And so I've just been really working hard on my workshop, my From Frantic to Freedom workshop, which the first one is coming out tomorrow afternoon when I Zoom, and I've got 3 more coming up in January. So it's like helping people get ease, organization, and flow in their lives when they're really bright and they struggle. And
yes, I think that's why she picked you. I mean, why they wanted to go off to have you do the reading right now, because she's saying 10, 10, 10, the number 10. So write down 10. She's saying that this is what you do is really going to help in a big way, in a big picture, which is the ascension and the awakening. She's really a big force in your work. And as I go through your whole system right now, like I'm looking at your whole body, I don't see a lot of others. You could say, I'm wrong. I'm fine with that. I'm very humble, medium. But as I go through your body, I don't see a lot of things else that are wrong with your system. But the thing the most that they're telling me, and they're going over and over and over again, is they have to heal you. The guides are saying, and the Holy Spirit, and your guardian angel, Mary, she's saying, we have to heal the back of your neck and the brain and your oxygen level in your head. So if you were to follow up with me, I would go further into that and how I could guide you in the healing of the back of your head and your neck and the C2, C3, C4, T1, and also we're linked to hormone. But everywhere else, as I look through every organ in your body, I don't get anything else.
just neuromas on my feet. If you have anything around that.
That neuroma is connected to the neurology, your occipital in your head. So thank you for letting me do the reading. Well, not me. She's doing this reading. She's coming in and telling most information. But yeah, because we're keeping them really short right now. But I can feel her love for you so much. She just loves and adores you so much. And also, one more thing, when you're doing your meditation and your prayer, how much are you doing that every day?
It really varies. So mostly sort of at night for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, because that's super important. And you can always send me a chat about your other issue that you have with your feet.
Great. I would.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Keep saying I'm in perfect health. Everything is the divine right. I claim my healthy healing right now. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Very, very beautiful. And of course, so many people would love to have it. Kimberly is going to come back towards the end of the show, so we'll be able to get another one in, hopefully. But, there's a lot of wonderful ways to connect with Kimberly. So her website is thehealingtrilogy.com. thehealingtrilogy.com. And definitely when you go there, and I encourage everybody right now, you're all on computers, so go on and put in your name and your email address so that you can subscribe to her newsletter, because her newsletters are always filled with wonderful things. And then there's a lot of ways you can work with her. Now, she's got this wonderful book that she wrote, which of course, there she is holding it, Awakening to the Fifth Dimension, which, as we heard earlier, Jennifer read cover to cover. And then, of course, you can schedule an appointment with her. And you do a wide variety of appointments, both online and then for people in Southern California in your Encino office. Is there anything you want to make sure that we focus on, or that particular demographic groups you really like working with?
Thank you, Scott. I just wanted to, I put in their silica gel and Mountain Valley spring water that they were focusing for my last reading. That would help the back of her neck and the hydration for the water. I love doing it's my very standard medical intuitive reading and healing, but some people love my Thursdays, which is diving into the soulmate. They love to talk to their soulmates on the other side and all that. So those are my Zoom sessions. I'm very type A personality. Everything you can see is very organized there. So, yeah.
Kimberly is amazing. I remember when we met in person in LA last year, we were doing something around the book, and it was at a Barnes and Noble in Beverly Hills. And a friend of mine came who I didn't even realize at the time had just lost her father. And Kimberly wound up doing a reading for her that just had her left in tears and was so transformational. So Kimberly's incredible. And you also have that upcoming event in Sedona, right?
I do, and I'm going to be at the Omega Center for people that live in New York City, and I'm so honored. I'll be finally able to go back to New York. I haven't been there since COVID came out, so I'm really excited about the Omega. For people.
Yeah. And for
The
anybody,
last thing I want to make sure we talk about is what you two are doing together. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
tell us about this.
Well, Kimberly is amazing. One day she's like, Jen, let's collaborate. I was like, I'm such a big fan of her work. I said, of course, I recommend Kimberly to everybody. One of my dear friends had cancer, and I recommended her to Kimberly. So Kimberly and I decided to do a course together called Awakening Your Fifth Dimensional Superpowers, where every week we're going to take different chapters of the book over 7 weeks. And we're doing an early bird special pricing through, I think, the next month or so. So there is a little bit of time to do that. I think Scott just put it in the chat. And yeah, we're going to do 7 weeks, and Kimberly will be doing a few mini readings as well throughout the course. And it's a really great way to be more intimately involved and get to know Kimberly a little bit better. She's a soul sister, and I'm so grateful to be with you again in this lifetime, Kimberly.
Jennifer, the minute I met you, couldn't believe it. It was like back again in this lifetime. And I hope everybody comes to this event with us, because I truly believe this is the time for us to help as many people as we can. And everybody that comes into our group, they've already done the work anyway. We're just reuniting again and powerfully awakening ourselves together. So.
And I love this too. That's my intention, whether it's with Om Heals or with you, Kimberly. The idea is not for us to spend the rest of our lives helping heal others. The idea is to awaken our own fifth dimensional superpowers so we can be the ones to heal ourselves. So that really is the goal. And Mara, I'm so great to see you, my friend. I'm so happy that message came through. It really moved me.
I felt her guardian angel come through my body. So God bless. Thank you, everybody, for letting me be here.
Yes. Lots of love, Kimberly, and we'll see you again at the end if you're up for it. So we love her. We could obviously gobble up a whole show, but we have so many wonderful guests yet to come. So thank you, Kimberly.
We do. We have a lot of wonderful guests. And in a moment, Jennifer's going to introduce the next one. But I want to welcome all of you who are now coming in from having watched Tangila's day-long Soul Search collaboration. I was on the first panel, and I'm talking about the quantum consciousness event, and I see Terry Russo and Kiki and a lot of our friends coming in from that. And isn't it amazing how we're just collaborating in so many wonderful ways? I love collaborating with Tangila like I did today. Tangila will be my co-host on Wednesday night. And of course, I love collaborating with Jennifer, and I'm going to turn it back over to her to introduce our next guest.
Yes, and if I can, I'm going to do a shout out for soulsearch.io as well. I tell all of our healers on Om Heals to absolutely go on soulsearch.io. I've had the pleasure of meeting with Tangela. And for me, I don't see anything as competition. I want every person out there who needs to find the right healer for them to find it. And I think what Tangela is doing is so beautiful. So please, to any wonderful healers out there, do check out what Tangela is doing with soulsearch.io. Big hugs to her.
So since people are asking, earlier today, it just ended, she hosted every single person you're seeing on that page were all part of her conference. We did, I think it was 5 panels. I was on the very first morning panel. And almost all of those people have been on the Awakening World. So you can still go back. I'll put into the chat box the link where you can register. And even though it's over, by registering, you'll get the recording for it.
Beautiful.
We love Tangela.
Big hugs to Tangela and to everybody out there who's on this path. It's such a beautiful path, whether you're a healer or somebody who puts on conferences like Scott or Tangela, or so many of us out there. If you're a teacher like Kimberly, just thank you. This is not necessarily the easiest path to be on. Sometimes I don't know about you guys, but I wake up and I fight with God. I'm like, God, can't I just be normal? Can't I just go do like a normal 9-to-5 job? And I literally cry about it sometimes because it's so overwhelming of, just wanting to be there for the world and for ourselves. So as I was reading yesterday on a beautiful Kabbalistic card for God called Global Transformation, is really peace in the world starts with peace in our hearts. So the more that each and every one of us does the transformational work, the greater and the faster the world will transform. So big hugs to everybody. And up next, without further ado, we have Brenda. Brenda, where are you, my friend? Let's pull you up here.
Brenda. She is. Got her.
Okay, good job, Scott.
Hey, Jennifer.
Brenda Ferrugia. Brenda is an incredible healer. I am so grateful. I think Lynn might be here with us. And I think, was it Lynn who introduced you to me, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah. She came out to an open house of mine and she goes, you need to connect with Jennifer. And it felt right. And I connected the very next day.
Oh, I'm so happy, Brenda. And yes, big hugs and thanks to Lynn for connecting the two of us. I love your work, Brenda. Brenda, you have a healing center as well out in Canada, right?
Yes, actually. So I live in Oakville. Actually, I'm moving out of Oakville, and I have a kind of an 8-acre property. It's kind of a farm, open space where we're having day retreats. A lot of clients that were coming out it was actually just they're coming out free because a lot of my clients are very ill or they lost their jobs and with COVID and everything. So they could come out, spend the day and have some healing sessions. We have a labyrinth they can meditate in, have some quiet time, because sometimes it's just being alone with yourself to really reconnect. And they go home and they just feel better. So that was opened last summer. We're relatively new, but now I'm actually going to be living here at the property because the energy here just feels so good. It's my new home.
Oh, I love it. And I noticed it was a different energetic and background than where you normally are from where we do our Zoom calls. And to give a little context on Brenda, for many, many years, she's been this incredible healer. She does what's called unity field healing, as well as beam therapy. And you introduced me actually to the founder of Unity Field Healing. I believe it's John Ryan, right?
Yeah, Dr. John Ryan. He's a radiologist in Ottawa who also deals with the Syrian Blue White Collective with Unity Field Healing. When I met him in a conference years ago, I just fell in love with this man. And I just knew I knew him. And I first had the sessions done. And then over time, I just happened that I became a practitioner. But it was beam therapy that saved my life. It was Dr. Joan Beatty in Toronto, a medical doctor who did energy work on the side. And years ago, when I was really in a desperate part of my life with depression and sadness, but I had smiling depression, so nobody knew. I was just dying inside, but keeping the smile on for everyone else. I just had this thing where I could give, but I didn't know how to receive. And beam therapy really brought back my self-confidence, self-love, although it didn't happen overnight. It's a journey. Healing is a journey. And mine took very long. And I used to get frustrated and say, God, just take me off this planet. It's too tough. But I'm glad I hung on, because I kind of got to the other side where I have that self-love back, and I just love giving it to anyone, that needs it. And the one thing I think, we all have our journeys and we all have our circumstances and our challenges, but when you come to the other side of them, it's like a blessing. And I would never change anything I went through. And because I believe all those things happened to get me where I am today. So there's never any judgment of where you are. I know a lot of people are in fear, and when you're in it, it feels so real. But when you come out of it, you're like, wow, that really confused me at that time. But where we are is perfect and evolving, and I don't believe we ever stop evolving. So we heal layer by layer, and it's just a gradual process. But never give up on yourself, and do whatever feels right.
Yeah, it's so powerful, Brenda. And God forbid anybody out there is struggling with depression, anxiety. I mean, so many people are going through it right now. That's one of the reasons we created Om Heals. There are wonderful, wonderful tools out there. I know Deepak has a website, neveralone.love, which has a free chatbot named Peewee, who's helped prevent thousands and thousands of suicides. So as somebody who struggled with depression myself, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that, because I think it's important to know that we are not alone. And as scary and as overwhelming as it can feel, as we're all going on our own healing journey, as Brenda said, peeling back all of these layers of trauma, this life, prior lives, it's just so powerful to know that we're all on this journey together, and we all might be feeling pain, but as long as we aren't afraid to ask one another for help and to share a pain, I think that's where we can really begin to heal.
Yeah, and it's just really surrendering, and you may not know what's going to happen in a session, and that's the beauty of it. So when I work with clients, really my guides just come through me, and I kind of step out of the way, and they kind of come through, and they just do magic, and they work with the person's higher self. So whatever someone's ready to release, and generally I would say it's like this icky mess of ton of stuff, and it might be 2% of this trauma and 3% of this one and 4% of that and a past life thing. It's all mixed up. So when they work and release that layer, people will just say, I just feel lighter, but I don't know, I can't put words to it. And sometimes we have those big shifts, but it's whatever you're ready for at the time of that healing. So you can't really force it, but just come in with an openness, saying, I'm ready to release whatever it is that needs to let go. And it's quite magical. I've seen some pretty amazing miracles and beautiful shifts, and I'm just honored to be a part of it. And, I did come from a corporate life. I do teach corporate wellness as well, which is a completely different talk I do for that audience. But it's kind of neat, because you can just kind of talk this way and that way, depending on who you're speaking with. But we all are healing in our own way, and at that own level of understanding. So I never gave up on myself. I would always spend at least 15 minutes a day for the last 13 years. I will never miss a day on healing myself, because it starts from that love from within, and then it just kind of emanates to everyone else.
I love that. I resonate with that so much too, with that, Brenda. It's for me. I remember years ago, I had a reading done where somebody's like, "Ooh, God, on your chart, you have like the wounded healer. You have great light and great darkness, exactly opposite each other." And that's been my lifelong journey and opportunity for growth is, keeping the darkness, like, okay, there is this beautiful shadow aspect of ourselves. And how do we not necessarily suppress it? How do we allow it to be part of us so it doesn't consume us? It's kind of reminds me of that movie, The Never-Ending Story, and The Nothing. If you've never seen it, it's a great story. And it's like the nothing is that darkness that threatens to sometimes consume us. And yet the beautiful work you do, Brenda, with Unity Field Healing, I've done 2 sessions, if not more, with you. And I love how you described it to me, that it just interweaves the light and pulls it closer to your being. I thought that was such a beautiful description of it.
Yeah, I would, if anyone is Unity Field Healing level 1, there's 3 levels to it. I would suggest anyone try at least level 1 because once you get activated, it stays with you forever. And it really brings in your own divine light closer to your physical body in the next 3 layers. It weaves through helping the emotional field, the mental and the physical. And then you're holding that light closer. So wherever you go, you're emanating it. So every time I work with a client and I see them after a session, it takes a whole week to integrate. They just look so much brighter. It's like, wow. And it's fabulous. Then you can do level 2, which you don't repeat. And then level 3, they're bringing you to a level where you can use the Unity Field template. And you use the level 3 over and over with intentions. I have about 23 intentions out there, from self-love to more confidence to everything that I can think of. Okay, help me with this. And you have these beautiful beings from the Syrian Blue Light Collective with you always. So I always feel them with me. And it's amazing. So a lot of people feel like, I don't know if I want to go, because once you have it, you have it. But it's a beautiful thing to have. It's your own divine light. Yeah.
Yes. And kudos to you, Brenda. I just had coffee with a friend the other day who came by and she's like, Jen, your energy shifted. And so let's talk, Scott. Can we pull up Brenda's website? Because I would love to promote what Brenda's doing. Of course, she's a healer on om-heals.com. We encourage people to find her directly on her website. Om Heals is more seeing if you match with people. That's really what we do specially, is whether it's Razan or Brenda or Aurora, you can answer 20 quick questions that will tell you right away whether or not you match with somebody. Will send you your results. But aside from that, let's go to Brenda's website, because I'd rather promote what Brenda's doing right now, Scott. It's all good. I just want to promote what she's doing on her own personal website.
Okay. I had actually prepared to do it through the Om Heals way.
Okay, that works too. Brenda, what's your website, just in case people want to connect?
It is sobrilliant.ca. And on my website, I do offer 3 free group healing calls per month, and my website allows that for free registration. I've been doing that since COVID started, and I started with 5 clients that couldn't come to see me because of lockdown, and it grew, and we get a pretty decent amount each call.
So here it is. It's sobrilliant.ca. And this is where you can book a free consultation. Hey, I like that poster that you've got.
Thank you. I update my website by myself, so I keep it up to date as much as possible.
I always like to ask people, what demographic group do you most enjoy working with? Is there a particular situation or people that you really feel especially called to work with?
I love them all. Anyone with an open mind, but I do have a soft spot for teenagers because they're going through such a traumatic time right now with lockdowns and things. And teenagers don't like to talk, right? So the talk therapy, sometimes they're like, so when they sit in front of me and they're doing beam therapy, which is really releasing tons of traumas and things. And they're like, this is the weirdest therapy I've ever been to, but I feel so much better. So I have teenagers of my own and they like it. They'll use it. And I love that. But really, anyone who has an open mind, they don't have to understand what's being done, and just allow the magic to melt away that layer that's ready to go. And it is a layer. So it's not a one-time miracle. We heal a layer, bring in the light, let go some more darkness, bring in the light, and your soul's really guiding your journey. So be patient with yourself. And that was me. Something I had to learn, be patient, because I wanted it done.
No, thank you so much, because it's really important to be able to provide support for teenagers. And you're right. They, of course, traditionally are not interested in therapy. They have a lot of associations that it means that there's something wrong with them and all that. So someone as compassionate and as loving as you clearly are, that makes it safe for a teenager to talk. I'm going to refer some teenagers to you, actually, because I have a lot of clients that have teenagers that are struggling.
Yeah, it's big. And sometimes siblings can come together. It's a little more comfortable. I just did a 12-year-old and a 16-year-old together. They're really scared, but because they were there together, they loved it and they felt so much lighter, and the parents are reporting really great results. So it's amazing to see, and it's such a lovely place to be a part of all this, because if we can help people heal and get through things a lot quicker than I had to go through, then yeah, let's bring it on, everyone. Yeah. So awesome.
To
Thank you
meet
so
you.
much.
Another great new connection through Om Heals and through Jennifer. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you, Jennifer, everything. Jennifer's been amazing. So, and and thank you so much for inviting me today. It's a pleasure. So thank you. I can feel the love flowing into this place from all of you. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, you're going to love what's next, Brenda, because next we've got Fanny and Vigari, who are just, well, you're about to experience them directly. As I had said at the beginning of the show, they're two of our favorite musical artists. And it's remarkable how two people can create the quality of sound together that they do. So welcome, beloveds. It's so good to have you back with us.
Thank you so much. It's so wonderful to be here. We are the healers through music and through laughter and joy. Joy, joy is our motto this year. And the miracles is to bring more joy to the world and remember to breathe the joy and share the joy. Vigari's song.
Yeah, breathe. We also, this song is also an appreciation of all of the breakthroughs that are being made in the movement towards unity consciousness and so on. So yes, breathe in the air that Mother Earth provides so abundantly for us.
Yes, and so it is. Here we are.
come together in a love revolution for the sake of the world. Yeah, breathe. There's a fresh wind blowing through. Breathe. Let the good light into you.
Prophecy says of the white buffalo, it will come. Yes, here we are. The rainbow people are rising, are rising. Here we are. We are the earth lovers. We are the peacemakers. The earth angels. We are awakening, the new earth is rising. Here we are, as we rise above, as we rise in love. I'm breathing the air, 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 I'm breathing the air. Come on, breathe with me. Love, love. Come on, breathe with me. Come on, breathe with me. Oh la leya, oh la leya, oh la leya, aye, 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 oh la leya, oh la leya, oh la leya. I'm breathing the air, 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 I'm breathing the
I'm going to go to gallery view this. I'll give them a twinkle. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. We are all breathing with you, beloveds. Fanny and Vigari, thank you.
Thank you.
And a reminder that you can also support them by, again, going to Bandcamp. And for them, they are on Bandcamp as the Mystiques 1111. So you go to the Mystiques 1111.bandcamp.com. And I think you can, having listened to the music, you can tell the music definitely has got a very mystique quality to it. And it's just beautiful. I love you two so much. And they're going to be back. They're going to close out our show with a final song tonight. So we will see both of you in a little while and enjoy meeting all these incredible healers.
Oh, it's amazing. Awesome. So awesome.
All right, I'm going to bring Jennifer back up if I can find her. Jennifer, there you are. You know, it's great that we have so many people with their cameras on, but sometimes it takes a minute to find who's next. Jennifer, I know you have a special introduction to make.
Yes, let's bring Razan up. Razan is an incredible, wow, next level hypnosis QHHT therapist out of North Carolina. I feel so grateful that Marshall connected us about a year or so ago. And definitely, Razan, it was such a pleasure. My God, when we did our QHHT training, it can take up to, I think, 3.5 hours because you want to give yourself basically a half day, if not a full day, to really embrace and experience what Razan has to offer. She takes you into this deep, deep, deep state of hypnosis and allows you to talk to your higher self, your star brothers and sisters, to see past lives. And I will always remember, Razan, I think I was a tribal man in the past life that you took me to. And I had to stab a deer right through the heart in a very kind and compassionate way. Otherwise, I would have been outcast from my tribe. And it was just so wow. Like I still remember the whole experience I had with you. Thank you so much, Razan, for the beautiful work that you bring to the world.
Yes, thank you, Jen. Thank you. And it was a very profound experience. And I remember we connected with the Pleiades, that part of your star family as well. And it was really nice. Yeah, thank you all for being here. And my name is Razan, and I would like to share with you a little bit about QHHT, which is a shortcut for quantum hypnosis technique and past life regression that was developed by the great Dolores Cannon. I'm entering my 6th year of practicing this technique, and what I do is I guide people into a very deep, relaxed state called somnambulistic state that allows them access to their subconscious and akashic records, in which their higher self will purposefully choose lifetimes for them to see for purposes that will be explained at the end of the session. The second part of the session, when the client goes into a more relaxed state, they will be able to connect with the higher self, to ask all their questions and receive healing. The higher self will do a body scan for any imbalances in the physical body and find the root causes in them, because sometimes the root causes are in the mental or in the emotional body or even in the spiritual body. And then we'll do a chakra clearing, and the higher self will move through each chakra with the client and will explain to them if they have a blockage and how it's been manifesting in their life and what they can learn from them. This technique is really profound. It's, to me, I've been learning so much through the insights of the higher self, because I see everyone as a mirror for me, and my clients are mirrors. So I'm learning so much every day through the insights of the higher selves, the realms my clients and I have visited, and our connection to our star family, and much more. Through this experience, people can understand the power of the mind. They can understand that the answers to all their questions lies within them. They can understand that they can go anywhere in the cosmos within them, within their mind. And most importantly, the profound power that lies within us. It is really magical. And most importantly, what I have been learning is the power of pure presence and compassion that can be cultivated through a sincere practice of meditation. That has been a very important practice in my life for over 7 years. Through meditation, like because the higher self has said several times that all like accessing the Akashic records and the information that we access through this technique we can access it naturally, but we really need to cultivate presence and meditation presence and compassion through meditation. And the process of meditation is about clearing out the junk of the subconscious mind so we can harmonize it with the conscious mind and tap into the superconscious. And I just probably had one tiny glimpse of the super conscious mind, the super consciousness in my last Vipassana retreat 2 months ago, where I would like to share a personal story that I had in my last course, which I realized that there's no such thing as bad karma. I was reincarnated as a Palestinian in this lifetime. And for many years, I thought it was one of the top 5 reincarnations because, my childhood was full of war and all of that. And in my last course, like the higher self, like I had a strong download where my higher self said that advanced souls can choose early suffering for the ego to die and for them to be reborn in spirit. And that's a great karma. So there's no such thing as bad karma. There's only possibilities and how we work with it. And it's either you call it trauma and become a victim, or you call it karma because we have chosen those experiences. And there's always possibilities to everything. Yeah. And of course, also it's been a part of my journey is to connect with my star origin, because coming to this earth, I always felt so odd. Like I didn't feel any kind of belonging to anything. And I was lost till I started to understand who I am and connect with my star family. So through this technique as well, I work with star seeds and I help them to connect with their place of origin, to understand who they are and why they are on earth, to fulfill their mission with ease and grace and come out of confusion, and to embody the physical body as much as possible, because a lot of us are not embodied. We're like somewhere else, but it's all about really fully embodying who we are in order for us to tap into something bigger. And I wanted also to share that this technique is about shifting between brainwave states or states of being. And I believe that understanding this and embodying it holds a very important key to our sovereignty. Because in those different states of beings, there's different awareness, different realities, and different possibilities that we open up to. So in this technique, I help people to understand what happens at those different states, and that the higher self is part of them. And we're all here to come back to who we truly are. We're not just poor little me. We are much, much more than that. And yeah.
So beautiful, Razan. I'm going to go ahead and put your profile in the chat there. Wow. I mean, the work that you do, Razan, hold on one second. Let me just go ahead and add myself here. So many people in the chat, Razan, are just really agreeing with and saying wholeheartedly. They're saying, Razan, yes, to fully embodying who we are. Thank you. I love what Terry put. A bad day for the ego is a good day for the soul. And I think it is so powerful what you just shared about this idea of thinking of it as something bad happening to us. I remember many years ago when I was first introduced to this idea of past lives by Brian Weiss in his book, Many Lives, Many Masters. He shares a story in the book of a great, great hardship that he underwent in his own personal life. And when you understand it from the soul's perspective, when you understand it from the higher consciousness, why we chose to incarnate, why we chose to be Palestinian or go through an abusive household or whatever it might have been in our lives, when we can dance with that, embrace it, and trust that it's in our highest and best good, that's when we connect, to Kimberly's point, to our fifth dimensional superpowers, because we are no longer at the effect of life. We are co-creators, co-collaborators, and everything that happens is part of our highest and best good, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
I
absolutely.
love that. Well, thank you. And Scott, I'd love to pull up, I put Razan's bio in the chat from Heal. So any of these wonderful healers, Razan, Aurora, Veronica, Holly, Brenda, everybody you're meeting with from Heals, you can find out for free if you match with any of them by going to om-heals.com and answering our Get Matched questions. And you can also use coupon code 20NEW to get 20% off from any session with Razan or anybody who you choose or match with. So Razan, let's talk a little bit more about your sessions. I mean, I cannot recommend them enough. I know I wrote you a testimonial for your site.
Thank you
and
very
would highly, highly recommend a session with Razan.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, so here's Razan's website. It's her name, Razan Kaur, K-A-U-R, razankaur.com. And yeah, it's all about quantum healing hypnosis techniques, past life regression. And she describes quite beautifully a little bit of what she said today about the work that she does. And it's in the tradition of Dolores Cannon, which I know many of us have a lot of love and respect and appreciation for Dolores. And so it's beautiful to meet you, Razan.
Yes.
And I would love to have you, since you're in Asheville, and we're planning on doing a retreat in Asheville, October 12th to the 15th are the tentative dates. I've reserved a retreat site out there. Hopefully you and Marshall will both be able to come out and join us for the Global Peace Tribe retreat out there.
Would be
hopefully we can get Jennifer making one of the 4 continents that she visits that week.
I never know where I'll be. I literally, people say, where do you go and how do you know where you go in the world? And honestly, I ask God in the universe, I pray every day, God, do you want me to go to Asheville? Do you want me to go here? And so I just show up wherever I'm sent in the world.
I also really want to acknowledge the beauty of what you were saying, Razan, about even when it's a very hard lifetime, it's not about bad karma, it's about learning deep lessons. I noticed that Michael Beckwith showed up a little bit in our chat box, and Michael's been on the show many times. And one of the times he was on, he told a story about a woman who had had a child that had been born terribly deformed, terrible problems. And the child was pretty much in physical discomfort for many years and then finally died at like age 7 or 8. And when this woman then went to a very well-renowned psychic, the psychic helped show her, oh, and then the being came to her in a series of dreams after he died. And between those lucid dreams and the psychic helping her to understand that he was actually a highly advanced soul that loved her so much that he chose that incarnation because he wanted to help her cultivate compassion.
Wow.
And that's a Michael Beckwith story. And so you never really know, it's why did I get cancer? Why did I have this difficult childhood? Well, we're here to learn these lessons of love and compassion. And the soul is so big and so eternal. And this human life seems long, but it's just a flash. It's just, it's a cosmic dream that's over quicker than one might realize. And I think that what you said today just really spoke to that and inspired me to share a little bit. And then I saw the story.
Yeah, thank you. And acceptance and gratitude can alter the circumstances. And that's been also part of my path when I was in Palestine and I had a Palestinian passport and I wasn't able to leave. I was just so stuck. And then I started having my awakenings and like I would have, downloads, and Spirit said, find gratitude, enter to access the frequency of gratitude, and then your circumstances will change. And it took me some time to be able to access that frequency. And then There's no such thing as passport. There's no such thing as border. There's none of that. Things will happen magically. We need to believe and have faith. First, accept my karma, and then find the blessings of it and contentment, and then things will change after that. There's no limitations. There's no limitations. Only possibilities.
Thank you so much for that, reminding us of that, because it's true.
Yeah.
Gratitude changes everything. And acceptance, think about all of our great teachers, the ones that last, they had personal lives where they demonstrated acceptance. Jesus on the cross, tortured and crucified. Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. Profound acceptance. Prince Siddhartha under the Bodhi tree finally accepts there is suffering. And from that acceptance, then boom, the enlightenment comes and he becomes the Buddha of compassion. So, so many of the stories, Rumi and what he went through with Shams, it really, all of our great teachers had to go through they went through incredibly difficult circumstances and still stayed in acceptance and gratitude. And those are the ones that we listen to. And so, Razan, you're right on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for allowing me to have this experience with all of you guys. Thank you so much.
Hope to have you again. Hope you'll come back.
Yes.
Thank you, Razan. It's so great to have you here, and big hugs to you and Marshall. And please keep doing the beautiful work that you do. I mean, it's really extraordinary. You shine your light, my friend.
Thank you so much, Jen, for genuinely supporting people and helping them. Thank you so much, all. Yeah.
Speaking of how Jen supports people, I do want to go back to the Heals website. And I really want to make sure everybody understands how cool this is. You fill out the survey and you get matched. And she's got so many incredible practitioners. Now, of course, all of the people you're meeting today are practitioners. There's Aurora, who we'll see in a few minutes. There's Brenda that we just heard from. And I did this. I filled out my little survey, and she hooked me up with somebody, and I had a wonderful session. This woman was like right on target. She's did a lot of really intuitive readings about my body and things I needed to work on. So this is an incredibly unique system, and you've got a unique algorithm system. Please share with our audience about that, because it's quite extraordinary.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. A lot of people don't know this, and I wasn't planning to share this right now, but when I was about 16 or so, I was 15 and I became bulimic. God bless my cheerleading coach, who said, girls, if you ever eat too much or drink too much, stick your fingers down your throat. And that led me into, I was already not kind to myself or loving to myself. So from about 15 to 25, I struggled with bulimia, depression. I tried to commit suicide 3 times, and I was just in a dark place. As we said earlier on the show, I have great dark and great light. And that's why I spend so much time in prayer and meditation now, learning to balance the two. And during that period, my parents, when they found out I was bulimic when I was about 18, they tried to find me therapists. They tried to, God forbid, I don't know if any of you out there have ever been tried to be matched with just a normal traditional therapist. And it was terrible. And it sent me further and further into myself and deeper into depression. And so that was really the inspiration when we came together to create Heals about just over a year ago. We created this algorithm. We thought, wow, what if there was something we could do where with 20 questions backed by a mathematical formula, we could figure out who is the right holistic therapist, the right traditional therapist, the right coach, the right teacher for you. And it's just been astounding. We've been in beta phase for about a year now, and it's actually been working so well. And we've had such tremendous results, an 89% plus satisfaction rate, that we're actually growing now. And we created a new company called Optimal-Match. Again, it's Optimal-Match for any businesses out there, for traditional therapists to use our platform, for coaching platforms. I think that so much pain is caused to people. You wind up being disappointed in the therapist. It creates frustration on the patient side, and sometimes giving up on our own health and wholeness. And so, having gone through that painful journey myself as a young adult, my dream is that everybody out there has access to finding the right Razan, the right Brenda, the right Aurora for them. And it just makes such a big difference. Our theory and our thesis, which we've since proven, is that the average person has an energetic blueprint. We all have this. And if you exceed the amount of variability that's tolerable from one person to another, then what's going to happen is you're going to wind up with what we call an accidental adversarial relationship where the therapist and patient, whether it's holistic or traditional, or even a coach and a mentee, they don't match. And so by discovering this amount of variability, we then match you based on the precise amount, and it allows you to feel safe. I think that's what makes beautiful romantic relationships, deep friendships, therapists also powerful and profound, is knowing that you need to be able to feel safe. As Razan was sharing, and I so deeply resonated with what she shared earlier too, she felt like she didn't belong here. And that was me, my whole, up until probably my late 30s. I felt like a black sheep and an outcast. I was in a marriage that was not healthy. And it's because I'm special, I'm neurodiverse, and it's okay. And I've since learned to embrace that. I'm also an alien, according to a lot of the therapists and different wonderful people and practitioners like Razan I've worked with. And the moment I embrace that, I don't have to be normal. I don't have to be like anybody else. But what I do need to do is I need to find the right therapists, the right coaches, the right teachers who are aligned with me. And that's what it all comes down to, is there's a misalignment with so many of us, and it causes pain. It causes drama. It causes enhanced or prolonged physical or health related issues because we feel like we don't fit in. And when we find that special tribe, those people who we connect with, who light up our soul, then we begin to feel safe. And it's kind of, I've never thought of this before, but it's kind of like a flower. If a flower doesn't have the right environment to grow in, if it doesn't have enough light, if it doesn't have enough water, if it doesn't have the right sort of soil, that flower is not ever going to be able to bloom. It might, maybe over 20 or 30 years of adversity, be able to break through the soil and become its beautiful self. But until you give that flower, which is you, those seeds, which are you, the right soil, the right environment, enough light, enough water, that is what a great therapeutic relationship is, holistic or otherwise. And that's why it's my passion to do this. And I'm so grateful to Scott for allowing us to share this. Thank you, Scott.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of you and of O'Neill's, and I think our audience is just seeing how wonderful all the people are. And the next person up is one of my favorite people, Aurora Luna Star. She's, of course, been on the show a couple times. I had the good pleasure to meet her in Sedona, and her big, beautiful dog. She's got a gorgeous, beautiful dog that my little dog wanted to be friends with. Aurora, it's wonderful to have you with us. I was so excited when Jennifer said you were going to be a part of the show tonight. And I'll let Jennifer do the continued introduction, but I'm really glad you're here.
Thanks, Scott. I'm grateful to be here.
Yes, Aurora is, again, a beautiful soul inside and out. How can you not love the pink hair? I mean, my life goal is to have your hair and your spirit. I mean, Aurora, from the moment you and I first connected, again, it's that beautiful just kinship and kindred soul and spirit. You are just incredible. She's an empowerment coach. She's an intuitive. She helps people connect to the divinity within them. And your intuition, Aurora, is just off the charts, my friend. I mean, so blown away. Share with our viewers and listeners, how was it you came to be on this path?
Oh, wow. Okay. So my awareness around my journey was that I was concurrently living two lives. I had started to do yoga and meditation and started learning Reiki. And I was also working in corporate America, just like Brenda. I feel like we all kind of have these different ways of the path finding us. And one day I went to work and I started crying behind the computer. I was feeling so despondent, really. I felt like it didn't make sense. Life wasn't making sense. I shouldn't have to sit in traffic 2 hours in either direction to make a living. I shouldn't have to sit on a computer and feel like I'm not vital, right? Because oftentimes when we're sitting behind a desk, we start losing the vitality of our bodies, of our energy field, of who we are, unless we're passionate about what we do. I was good at what I did, but I wasn't being utilized for all the different skills that I had, and also feeling very neurodynamic. I feel like this much of what I could do was actually being utilized of all the things that I could bring to the table. And I needed to fit in a box because that's what the corporate environment could allow and nothing else. It afforded a great lifestyle. But when you think about it, my lifestyle was 2 to 3 weeks vacation a year. And I couldn't justify it anymore. So at 39 years old, I quit my job. I sold my car. I packed up a cat at that time, my cat Bubba, another spirit totem. And at that time, I'd moved to Mexico. That was the guidance. And, you know, going back to even Razan speaking about the star seed, and essentially Brenda also, right? She might not have used that exact language, but anyone who's working with teenagers is working with star seeds. It comes back to, I mean, that's one way to identify the energy. We are all seeding this planet with our consciousness because we've all awakened to that awareness of unity. And that's so powerful. That's such powerful medicine. And it's also so uncomfortable. I feel like my karma choice was 9 near-death experiences by the time I was 5. And it's not, you know, it's not really different than being born Palestinian or, you know, just like Razan was saying, whatever our karma is that we've chosen to step into in the body, it's a lot. And we have this great resource opportunity to shift the consciousness that we've been given, right? If you look at it like a plate of food, the consciousness that we've been handed has been poisoned. It's been completely stripped of every nutrient possible. But our true consciousness returns us back to our unity, our source self, our I am presence, our higher self, our soul. And so my journey has been over the past 15 years of releasing that idea of victim consciousness as well, right? Spirit says, well, what is a victim really? When your consciousness is formed from the last trimester in the womb to the first 7 years of your life, you're kind of, again, being handed this energy that isn't necessarily you, but you believe it because you're a sponge. So the spiritual journey ends up being this opportunity to unravel all of those beliefs and to start really connecting with frequency, vibration, energy, the consciousness of unity, of love, of light. And just like Jennifer said, we're not denying the shadow. We're here from root to rise. We're here from the depths of the shadow that we all have, that we're all meant to have, right? The human experience is this gamut of emotions, and we're meant to feel and experience all of them. And what we mature into as we're growing through the soil into that light is the awareness that we are the observer of our emotions. We can observe how we feel because our emotions are telling us what is out of alignment. I'm giving my power away to this situation. I am angry. Why am I angry? What is the anger a catalyst for? What is the fear I'm actually feeling that's behind that anger? Just like Brenda was talking about, also getting to the root. Really important when we can do that. Because when we can see what's actually happening, we can give ourselves permission to observe it, feel it. You know, we're going to feel grief. We're going to feel anger. We're going to feel jealous. We're going to feel resentment. And all of those feelings are actually giving us permission to stop, pivot, and turn. Make new choices. Life is filled with choices. What are we choosing? What vibration are we choosing? What thoughts are we choosing? What are we feeling? What are we doing with what we're feeling? Are we making it our address and really diving deep into that feeling to the point where we identify it with who we are? Or are we experiencing the feeling, emotion being put in motion, and allowing ourselves to experience the other side of that frequency? Because I've heard it from everyone so far. What we go through in that dark night of the soul, on the other side of it, is absolute freedom. It's simply showing us that next layer, just like Brenda was saying, of the trauma or the karma, the experience, whatever that means for each one of us. It's always an opportunity for healing. It's always an opportunity, and it's always a choice. And that becomes so powerful when we recognize I don't have to sit in traffic for 2 hours. I can start my day at the dog park every day if I want to, or a hike out on the trail in Sedona. I can choose to empower the qualities that corporate America didn't know what to do with, right? I didn't fit into a box. I had to eliminate the box and blaze my own trail, create my own path. And we all have an opportunity to do that in different ways. And I understand, we have responsibilities. The challenge is that we look at those responsibilities as hindrances rather than blessings, right? Like Razan said, going back to being grateful for what is, rather than looking at it as an obstacle. Because the minute that we are matching the frequencies, the vibrations of unity consciousness, which is love, peace, joy, gratitude, fun. Oh my gosh, fun. Do not underestimate the power of a good time, because having fun is the frequency that Spirit wants to bring all of our co-creations to, because we're manifesting 24/7, right? When we talk about manifestation, it's not just the things we desire, we manifest all the time. My favorite description of manifesting was given to me by Wendy Kennedy. She was channeling in the movie, I can't think of the name in this moment, it's escaping me, Tuning In. Thank you. Ooh, thank you, team. And she talks about how you're standing at the top of a building and you throw out the boomerang with all of your desires and you're so excited and you're waiting for the boomerang to come back. And as you're waiting, you start to doubt. And then you start to have fear that it's never going to come. And then you start to feel unworthy. Well, why was I thinking of that anyway? I could never have that. It wasn't meant for me. And by the time the boomerang comes back, now you're on the bottom floor. So the boomerang was up at the very top level. And that's where we have an opportunity to stay in vibration. And it's okay that we vacillate. We're going to go through those layers of how we feel. And we get to choose our vibration. And that's my biggest joy in the work that I do, is helping people realize that they have a choice. They can choose how they want to walk in the world. We can play in the realm of the quantum and bypass the energy of 3D by creating our own world, literally, by the way we think, by the way we feel, by the way we speak.
That is so powerful, Aurora. Wow. So many pearls of wisdom. The chat is blowing up right now with all of your Aurora. Noelle says, Aurora, yes, Spirit has told me the most powerful time to manifest is from the frequency of joy and play. And I think that's so true, because there's this heaviness sometimes that you get stuck in like the tar pit of life, and then you're trying to pull yourself out of it. And yet if you just allow yourself to be light, from this lightness of being, this essence of who we are, there's this creativity and flow that happens. And that, just dancing. I was so embarrassed. I posted a video on social the other day of me dancing on New Year's Eve. Oh my God. I totally thought I was a ballerina. I don't drink often. And so the whole New Year's Eve night, I was like, I had all these friends at the house and I was pouring everybody else one. I hadn't had a sip of anything. And then, you pop out the good champagne at almost 10 minutes to midnight and I start pouring it around. I was like, I'll have a glass or two. And I don't drink that often. Next thing you know, I'm doing ballet and dancing around my living room. But that's life, that's where the magic happens, is dancing around your living room at midnight on New Year's Eve.
Absolutely. And for a little Veuve Clicquot, I might do that as well.
I
loved everything you said, Aurora. And I want to read something that Reverend Jeffrey wrote, which I think, you really also tapped into. He writes, "Faith is the magic word that makes the apparent desert of my experience blossom and become green and productive. Faith, an eternal and unwavering faith in the limitless possibilities of humankind. This faith is mine." And it's really true. We're hearing gratitude, faith, trusting in the process, trusting in the journey of our life. And I tell you, I want to encourage everybody, let's all go to Glastonbury with Aurora. Glastonbury is one of the absolute favorite places on the planet. I mean, there's Sedona, there's Machu Picchu, there's Glastonbury, there's Egypt. I mean, these are the really magical places that our tribe converges to. And May is a good time because crop circle season has begun. So tell us about, of course, I got all excited about Glastonbury. There's a lot more. We're looking at your website, which is her name, Aurora Luna Star. You can tell by the stars that are dancing in.
Beautiful.
Tell us about the Glastonbury tour.
The Glastonbury tour is going to be amazing. It's a 5-day excursion. We're going to spend 3 days in Glastonbury. And 4 summers ago, I got to spend about 3 weeks in Glastonbury, and I had an absolute blast. I just decided to channel my inner, Morgaine and hang out there and really just feel the energies of King Arthur, of the dragons, of the unicorns, of Mary, of Michael, of all these frequencies of being in this space, and totally transported out of body and out of time. It was amazing. And then, of course, back into body. So we're going to actually spend 3 days at Chalice Well on their property. I've rented space where we can, they're amazing. So I've rented a room where for half a day, each of those 3 days, we'll be talking about soul retrieval, because we all have aspects of ourselves kind of scattered throughout the time space, right through the Akash. And so on this journey, we're going to be recalling those pieces back to us. And we're going to be bringing in more of that wholeness, more of that magic, and the awareness again of empowerment, what it looks like to walk knowing that we are Merlin, that we are the magicians of the lives that we lead, right? And we're going to spend some time in Bath and Avebury also. And then we're going to be for a sunrise at the Stones, because you can't go all the way to Glastonbury and miss Stonehenge at a sunrise for an amazing meditation.
I'm bringing Brother Omashar on because I'm really having the fantasy of Omashar, who's from Maryland, and some of us really coming with you. And I'm glad you mentioned Avebury. I actually always tell people Stonehenge is nice, but it's filled with tourists. Go to Avebury. You can just, no one's there. You can walk and touch the stones, be with the stones. When my wife was still alive, we stayed, there's a little 2-bedroom Airbnb in Avebury, and we stayed there and had magical times. So Global Peace Tribe, let's go to Glastonbury.
Go to Glastonbury. It's phenomenal, man. And Avebury is such a powerful place, and yes, it's so underpopulated. I go to back to England at least once a year, sometimes twice, but I always go to Glastonbury, always. And I'll rent a car and go down there and hide myself away from social media for 2 or 3 days and spend time up the tour, but I always start by going to Avery, and I tune in by going to all of those massive stones and just tuning into each stone. And then we'll go to Glastonbury and spend some time up the tour, and of course the Chalice Well and that whole thing. But an amazing thing that happened to me when I was there in March of this last year, I was I went to Avebury, went to Stonehenge, and I was called back to Avebury, and I decided to go and touch every single stone, even the ones that were lying down. It took me about an hour, and I said, "Why? I'm really bored of this. I just want to go and get an ice cream." And because there's a lovely ice cream shop there, and who should be standing at the very last stone but David Icke, recording a program on ley lines. And so what an amazing thing. Spirit, I met him many moons ago in Mount Shasta at a WESAC event that I played music at his event. And it was just one of those serendipitous meetings. It's like you made me go to every single stone. So this 5-minute window, I'd meet with this dude, and we chatted for 5-10 minutes. And as I say, he was talking about ley lines and running through, the Michael and the Mary ley line, etc. Blah blah blah. I'm excited, Glastonbury. And I had a communication with Scott by text when I was there, and he sent me a photo of the little stone cottage at Avebury that him and his wife stayed at, and I said, "It's right there." It's like, anyway, reminiscing, lovely.
Yes, and I want to throw out something really funny that I bet 99% of us don't know. So, Scott, you of course know Jude Curvin. A lot of us do, right? Jude Curvin, best-selling author, etc. Now, I bet none of you have read Jude's book. So it's funny, Jude and I became friends, and she took me to Avebury, which is what made me think of it. She and her husband, Tony, took me around because she's very big in all of that magic. Funny story about Jude. If you go on Amazon, there is a lesser known book. It's a fictional series she wrote called The Legacy, Part 1, Part 2. It is a magical story. I told Jude, please make a movie. If anybody is watching this and you're affiliated with Netflix, I told Jude we have to make a movie about it. And it's this brilliant quasi-fictional story. Talk to Jude about it. We'll have to have her on the show to discuss it, but about the energies of that area and King Arthur and this young girl who may or may not be Jude in the book, her role in Egypt. But it's like this epic story of good versus evil from the beginning of time. I want to go back and reread it. But anyways, it's a lesser known.
You're talking about Legacy, right?
Yeah, Legacy by Jude Curvin. So it made me think of it, A, because Jude took me to Avebury, and B, because the King Arthur tie-in. So
isn't it wonderful that we can, as you're talking, go online and find it? There it is. It's the part. So you know what we should do? Let's do a show with Aurora and Jude, and I have one other person that's very magical about the whole Arthurian Morgaine things. Let's do a whole show about the Arthurian legends and
yes, please. And everybody
I'm in.
Right.
Awesome, guys.
You inspired it, Aurora, because the whole point, we'll do it like in March to get everybody to come in May to the Glastonbury tour with you. So, well, we probably should move on. But just doing probably now that we've all gone to Glastonbury and back, do you do private readings for people? Tell us a little bit about your services.
Oh, sure. Readings, not so much my jam. My jam is really helping you move through what you may be experiencing. So for instances, a lot of times we desire to manifest something and we say, okay, I desire this. And at the same time, our subconscious is saying, I don't deserve this. And what that happens is we cancel out what it is that we're trying to create for ourselves, right? We don't even know we're doing it. Sabotage is like a very sneaky little weed that, is I'm the constant gardener, I say, of my thoughts, because before I know it, I'm thinking something like, well, that's not possible, but is that true? Because really anything's possible. So I have to constantly rewire that, right? Fine tune. Mm-hmm. So I use sound frequency a lot. I have crystal singing bowls, and I use my voice and light language, and I do channeling. And really what comes through, just like I feel everyone shared up until this point, the session becomes what's most aligned for whomever is before me in that moment. Because our timelines and our choices are constantly shifting. So the session really ends up being, you come to me and you share something, a small tidbit of anything, even though I may get some information before we come on screen together. And then Spirit is already saying, okay, this is what we need to do, boom, 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 because we all have these energetic codes, right? If 90% of what we think today, we're going to think tomorrow, Spirit is showing me where in the thought patterns something needs to shift. It's literally almost like a switch. And so once we start to make those patterns into positive thoughts, positive potentials, excitement, then you're creating and empowering on a whole new level.
Beautiful. So you can go to her website, Aurora Luna Star, or of course, go through Heals. I love that photo of you, Aurora. That's great. And so she provides a lot of wonderful, wonderful services. So definitely, I hope a lot of our people take advantage. And I'm very serious. We will talk next week about scheduling a show all about the magic of Glastonbury and Arthurian legends. I love that stuff. Thanks, Aurora.
Thank you so much. Thank you both.
Yes, thank you. That was such a fun. I love that we digress. We just are here playing in space and time and just allowing what is meant to unfold to unfold. And now, without further ado, let's bring on Holly Copeland. Holly, oh my gosh, amazing human potential coach, biofield tuning expert, and sound healer who's going to be offering us a special sound healing today. And I'm going to do a shout out for Holly because she's in the middle of 365 days of being unshakable tips on her social media channels. So you may want to check out what Holly is doing on that, in addition to, of course, being a beautiful, wonderful human being who I get to know. And I just cherish you, Holly. Thank you for being here with us.
Oh my gosh, Jennifer, I so much cherish you and everybody here. This has been extraordinary. I just want to put a shout out to, Scott and everyone here. I am blown away by the energy, the love, and just everything that's transpired. I'm just like so full. So thank you, thank you.
And we need to have Altair. You know what I realized, Holly, as we were doing this, because Holly and I have a mutual friend, Altair, who we both collaborate with, who is talk about starseed, next level being. I love when Altair did a reading for me one day. He's out of Tokyo. He's like, "Oh, you're an alien." He's like, "Yeah, you're Palladian." Like, there's like, it's impossible that you're not. But he just told me so much fun stuff, and Holly had connected us. So I was thinking we definitely need to get Altair on the show here. So we'll have to plan that. Well, Holly, without further ado, my friend, I want to hand it over to you for a beautiful sound healing.
All right. Well, I'm just going to start here, and then we'll talk a little bit about what I do. But I'm a biofield tuner, and so much of what has been shared tonight by Razan and Brenda and Aurora just is so resonant with the work that I do, and I love that. It feels like there is. We're all working, of course, in the same field. We're playing with frequency, light, sound, vibration in order to help everyone shift up into resonance and harmony. So I thought, let's just do a little of that together for everybody here. And then we'll talk about what I do a little bit. So I want to start by, of course, we're all playing in the energetic field. We are all energy and light. And so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to tap into and activate our Earth Star at the chakra that's about 8 or 10 inches below our feet, and then the Sun Star, and then we'll do a little light heart activation. And this will be a little quick, but I think especially with everybody here, if everybody really brings your intention into this, we can ground really quickly. Okay, so invite everybody here to close your eyes. And let's take 3 beautiful coherent breaths together into our bellies. And I'm bringing everybody that's here right now and everybody that will ever listen to this show is in the morphic field that I'm playing in right now. And we're just coming down and activating your Earth Star. So just feeling into that energy below your feet. and then blow out a breath down in through the bottom of your feet, through the earth and into the crystalline core of the earth. Feeling it wrap around and ground you. And any energy that's not serving you, just let it flow down through your feet into the earth. And then up from the earth, envision that nutrients, light, love, energy are being fed up from the earth in through your feet and through your central channel, lighting you up from below. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Oh my gosh, there's so much energy at my feet. Okay, and now I'm activating the sun star, the chakra about 8 inches above your head. This connects to our life purpose and our where the energy from spirit enters from the top. So feeling this energy from above, we're plugging everyone into the energy from above, source consciousness, sun, light, and just imagine and feel that light traveling down through the top of your head, through this column of light from above, washing down through you like a waterfall. Wow, it's so strong and powerful. Awesome. Okay, so we're activated. Energy is flowing now between our two poles, between the negative at the bottom and the positive at the top. We're like a battery, and just feel this energy flowing and circulating from your feet up through the body, through the top of the head in a porous field. There was a little bit of energy that was getting blocked at the throat. Feels like that's clear now. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is activate the heart center. And I was guided to, I really want to come into and access clarity around our purpose for the coming year. That purpose is driven through the heart space. And so I'm going to activate the heart chakra. And you can hear it's just a little bit harsh. And we're bringing this area into resonance, coherence, and harmony to open up clarity for everyone here so that you have clear sense of purpose for highest and best, what will serve you this year. So just feel the energy. It's about 8 inches from your heart space, and we bring this into resonance and coherence so that any dissonance here, any fuzz, static, anything that feels like lack of clarity is brought back into resonance. So we're tuning this part of your instrument into clarity, love, and light. And there isn't anything you need to do, just be aware of the energy in your heart space. If you feel any heaviness or confusion, you might let that drop down through your feet. So the breath is your friend here to dissipate any incoherent energy. Just see what you notice. remembering that the universe has your back. And there's literally infinite potential in terms of what you can do and step into and be. That their limitations only arise in the mind from our small self. So opening yourself up to all possibility. That you are here in service of all humanity for good. What does this energy want you to step into? Feel it at your back. Feel the support, the love, the light, the guidance. What are you uniquely meant to step into? What this year are you here to play into in the field of light in the universe? What brings you the most joy? What makes your heart feel open, expanded? Because openness, expansion is really all the universe speaking through you. That yes is meant for you. It's the language of love. Right. Beautiful. And just thank you everyone so much for this opportunity to work with you in this mini healing session. And namaste to you all. Thank you, Jennifer, and just such an honor to be here.
Wow, Holly, that was powerful. How many of you felt vibrating? Like right now, my whole body is like tingly sensations from my toes to my head. Oh, Holly, you are such a talented healer, my friend. I'm so grateful. You're also trained in heart math too, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah. So on top of being a human potential coach, she's also a heart math coach. And obviously, as we just experienced, I can almost barely talk right now because I'm just tingling all over the place. That was really magical. Everybody is just posting and blowing up the chat right now, saying incredible feeling, beautiful energy. I think people really connected with your vibration, Holly.
Well, thank you. It's everybody, it's everyone here's energy that contributed to this. So, yeah.
Holly, don't go away yet. I was so in the experience that I was remiss in doing my duty of getting you properly posted. So now I'm coming back to, oh yeah, I've got a job to do here. So her website is heartmindalchemy.org. I did just put that in the chat box, but for those of you on Facebook and YouTube, it's heartmindalchemy.org. Always, when you come onto these websites, please always put your email name in there so people can keep track of you. There we go. Come on, try to sign up. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know why that box didn't go away. Should.
Yeah, the box is run away, but that's okay. Let's see what we can do here. Well, there we go. There she is. Please tell us, are there courses, offerings? What do you want for people to know about how they can get more of you?
Yeah, so I have all of that. I have my flagship program is called Awaken, Heal, Breathe, and I work with individuals to combine sound healing and so biofield tuning, coaching, awakening practices, and breath work. And my goal is to really help people have transformational shifts, both, vibrationally, but also to help them step into unshakable joy. So I teach and direct people in awake awareness practices to help them have immediate shifts to step out of that thinking, that place of confusion in the mind, and get into a place of clarity, and then teach them and work with them on whatever challenges they're experiencing in their life in order to really learn for themselves how to shift into clarity. And so I work with them that way, and then we work with biofield tuning with the forks and individual sessions to clear the energy field, and then we do incredible breath work together as well in order to also shift that energetic field so that people can really thrive. I mean, my whole mission in life is to help people thrive and live in unshakable joy, calm, and clarity.
Well, I know that's quite wonderful is if you go back to her website, book a free discovery call. And look at that, the calendar's right there. You can click and book a free discovery call. And how long are those usually take? And are those phone, Zoom, or both?
The programs that I offer are so if you want to work with me in the Awaken, Heal, Breathe, it's Zoom, or I actually do in person in Marin County in Larkspur, California now. So that's new as well. But most of my clients are online all over the world, and they're 90-minute sessions, and we dive deep together to help people shift. I also do individual biofield tuning. If you just want, to have individual biofield tuning sessions with me, I offer those as well. So
I'm right in Tiburon. I'm very close to you. So we're both in southern Marin County, actually. So how wonderful! Again, wonderful to meet you. And again, she's offering free discovery calls. So go to the website, book the discovery call. And thank you so much for that beautiful, I'm still kind of coming back into my body. So thank you so much.
you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Well, thank you.
It's time for some music. We need to integrate. So Omashar, my friend, we need you to integrate all this goodness from Holly. Yeah.
No, we are there. Yeah, we all need each other, Scott. And Harley, thank you. Unshakable joy. Yes, I'm in. And it's funny. In my awakening, in my personal awakening, I miss joy. I miss unshakable joy. I miss that sense of my body just being so free that it's so happy. And it's really good to be reminded of it, because I started to take my awakening a bit too seriously. It's like, wow, really? But on a tangent note, this is an event that happened. St. Michael's Chapel on the Tor in Glastonbury. It's a very sacred hill in Glastonbury that they call the Tor, T-O-R. And this is an event that happened there a couple of years ago. And this photo was taken, and I just saw it in my little Zoom thing, and I thought I'd share it with us because it's relatively topical to our tangent. Anyway, that's not where we're going. I'm going to sing a song called The Miracle. And if anyone has headphones on, this has got a crazy little syncopated drum track in it. And as a miracle, this is the miracle of modern technology. Here we are. And we've got to press a couple of buttons to get all professional and all on you. Cherry Blossom. Here we go. I've changed like a butterfly. It's something very new. I'm feeling so alive, and yes, it's true. Nothing is the same. I'm bigger than before, and yet I know that I am still a child without a care in this new world, and so connected to you. An innocent new life, a heart so true. A dream that seems so far away is living here in me.
freeing all the pain that paved the way. The miracle of love has opened up the door, and now I know that I am still a child without a care in this new world, and so connected to you. An innocent new life, a heart so true. Is beating once again. I'm feeling so secure, and yet I know that nothing's like before. My mind is now at peace, no need to know the way. And yes, I'm glad that I am still a child without a care in this new world. Innocent new life, a heart so true. I'm still a child without a care in this new world, and so connected to you. I'm innocent and deep and pure and true.
Wow. Woo-hoo. Twinkle, buddy, twinkle time. That was amazing.
Yeah,
you knocked that one out of the park, Mashar. I love that.
Yeah, it's fun being a downloader of songs from the Universal Song Factory. I tell you, I listen to some of these songs and I think, who wrote that? And then I think, that was me. I must be amazing. Then I realized, well, actually, no, it wasn't you. You just downloaded it from the song tree. So all praise to the source of us all.
It's like that great quote from Bob Dylan when they said, how do you write so many songs? He says, oh, I don't write them. I just write them down.
Exactly that. It is. It's funny because for me, it was like literally a song tree, and this apple would come over my head, and normally come about 2 or 3 in the morning. And basically, you'd pick the apple and wrap it, and it would be a whole song. And I used to get really annoyed because it's like, really, because I'd know the work ahead when a creation comes along. You know, it's not just a minute or two; it might be a month. And so sometimes I would resist. Anyway, there we are. Thank you for listening.
As Susan said, you are amazing, Ashar. Wowza.
Oh, I love that. That's great. Thank you so much, Omashar. As always, your music, your spirit uplifts and inspires all of us, my friend.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yes, thank you. And thank you to everybody who's here with us on this beautiful Saturday night, or in my case, 4:14 a.m. in the morning in Lisbon, wherever you're watching from. It's all good. I got a good 6-hour nap in before I got on, so it's all good. So I'd love to bring on Veronica Parks. Veronica, my friend, where are you?
Where's Veronica? There she is.
I am hiding in plain sight.
I love it. Veronica is incredible. She is another healer on Om Heals. She is actually a master soul healer and the founder of an international life transformation organization, restoring lives by reprogramming the subconscious mind to transform unhealthy habits, thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. Veronica, I mean, you do so much incredible work in the world. You are just a bright, bright light. I know you went through a very challenging, speaking of what Razan was sharing about, being Palestinian, you grew up in Eastern Europe and had a little bit of your own journey. Do you want to share a little bit about that with us?
Yes, just like Razan said, I categorize people that come into our lives in two categories. They're teachers and they're cheerleaders. And oftentimes, especially if you're probably called to be here, chances are that your parents or people around you were teachers when you grew up. And I was lucky enough to choose some amazing teachers. And they were teachers technically and unofficially, so to speak. I grew up in a third world country called Moldova in Eastern Europe, and it's right next to the war zone. My parents are actually just about 2 hours from Odessa. And I get the different insights of what is happening on that side of the world. Having come up on that side of the world and grown up in a communist environment with no running water, very little electricity, maybe 1 hour a day, and doing everything that I was told to do. And at that time, as a child, life just didn't seem fair. And I don't know if any of you resonate with this. When you come in, you're either choosing one of the two paths when you have painful childhood, right? Some people choose the path of a healer because first you have to heal yourself. Therefore, when you come up to this amazing gift that you gave to yourself, you become responsible to share that with others, hence a lot of us here. And the other path is to go into the complete opposite and give on to others what was done to you. And that's what a lot of the narcissistic behaviors shows up in many people around us. So I chose the path of a healer eventually because just like you, Jen, were sharing, going through different things and different turmoils in your life, something has to give for the new part of you to come up. And for me personally, I studied hard. I knew that I had to get out of there. And to do that, I had to be great at school and run away as fast as I could. So I did a great job of going to school. I got scholarship to business school. And eventually I ended up in America. It was never my dream. It was never in my plans, so to speak. But I knew that I was going to have an amazing life. And when I moved to America without speaking a word in English about 15 years ago, I ended up in a very abusive relationship. And I don't know if you relate to any of this, but even though I ran across the world to begin a life and a new beginning and to start something that I can build with my own hands, abuse was familiar to me. So I instinctively attracted a person that was treating me the same way. And hence the last teacher, the last big teacher of my life before my journey. And I'm so grateful for every one of those experiences because had I not gone through that, I wouldn't have found the force, the power within me to say, hey, I either choose to leave this planet or I can build myself into the person that I truly love from inside out. That even if I lose everything, that is something that nobody can take away from me. And that goes for everyone, regardless of our bringing, is what we choose to do with it. Can we take that everything that happens to us or for us or through us? It's part of our boot camp, that training. You know, people go to army, they go to the boot camp. We had our boot camp from childhood, right? We had to start on so much sooner. And all of us had to find a way to get to where we are today and continue on this journey. And I love that this event is created today because in a times like this, children of the light unite. And I know that every single one of us is here for a reason, because although I come in a form of Veronica Parks, The light within me is the same light that shines within every single one of you. And that is the very thing, that oneness, that pureness, the love that brings all of us together. And I simply translate the teachings that I gain through my words, through my accent, through my way of perceiving the world. We're all simply translators of the same road that leads us to our love, to our pureness, to our light. And hence, years later, I am here sharing the passion, the gift that had changed my life. I came across NLP training, and some of you are probably very familiar with it. And I picked some parts that I loved about it, because when an NLP session was done to me, it was a timeline therapy. And at that time, it was, I had this huge fear of heights. And in just a few minutes of speaking to that person, I closed my eyes, and this person was taking me on a journey, so to speak, past, future, so forth. And I'm like, you know what? I'll go with it. What's the worst that can happen? 30 minutes later, I open my eyes and I look down, and the fear of heights was gone. And I'm like, wait, if you can rewrite the story of something like that, that means I can go my childhood and rewrite everything that I've been through. That's when I'm like, I'm onto something, and I want to share this with as many people as I can, as long as I'm here, as long as I can speak. So through different modalities, I founded the Soul Healing System, which is a proprietary methodology or method that combines a lot of ancient wisdom that I channel and a lot of modern technology. And when we do that, we either go on a linear level, which is future, past, including past lives, or we go on a vertical level, which is my favorite way of clearing things, which is going to a higher dimension, as high as anybody's able to go. And that's what we get to play. Because truly what we see, our physicalities, what we feel, what we sense, is just a small portion of who we truly are. And when we meditate, when we connect in events like this, when we get to experience the light, the beauty, the oneness all across the world, then we realize that we're so much bigger than we were taught. And we have to spend the rest of our lives unlearning what we learned from the system, that something is wrong with us, when in fact, we're perfect. If we weren't perfect, we wouldn't be here. As humans, as beings, we're perfect. And our job here is to realize our perfection, emanate that through every word, every thought, every person we touch, and see the perfection within others. And that is the message that I am personally here to share, to see the light within you, and therefore to see the light in others.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. Oh my gosh, Veronica, everybody is just saying so many beautiful things about you in the chat. Your healing system sounds fantastic. Go for the humor and the fun. Charlotte just said, our job here is to realize our perfection. And that's why I think from the first moment you and I met, Veronica, you just have this passion. You feel it. Doesn't everybody feel that from Veronica? Like this just passion and deep soul yearning to make a difference and to help others in the way that you were helped. So thank you so much for being here, Veronica, and sharing that with us.
It's my absolute pleasure. My absolute pleasure.
As always, I'm going to go to her website, and it's for those of you who are watching on Facebook, it's soulhealingsystem.com, soulhealingsystem.com. Of course, I am immediately giving her my name and email address so I can keep track of all the wonderful things that you're doing. Tell us a little bit about your offerings and how people can enjoy more time with you.
Actually, I just shared a link in the chat as well. We just started in our inner circle a 30-day challenge. It's 30 days of love and healing that we got on January 1st. So you can still get on. It's complimentary. It's amazing. And we have a nice group, a soul healing group that we're supporting each other every single day. Aside from that, I actually have the one that you just sign up for. It's a complimentary activations to activate the angelic light within us. And in that journey, I go vertically in higher dimensions. I think we go as far as the 14th dimension, if I remember correctly. And with anything, go through the journey, notice what awakens or what feels or what sparks within you. I'm a true believer that every single one of us brings a certain spice to help ourselves in this journey, and go through it and find out what spice that you haven't experienced before that you might experience from that side of the world. Because the way I perceive the world, just like Jen said, you find yourself being an outcast and an outsider your entire life until you realize that your uniqueness, it's what actually makes you amazing. And being that one in millions is amazing. And once you realize and you embrace the amazingness within you, then your soul tribe will find you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. I really love, well, everybody is just so passionate, so much enthusiasm, and just such beautiful healers. And your medicine, your wisdom, your energies are so appreciated. Thank you. And those of you that have had these challenging lives, that were born in Eastern Europe and Palestine, thank you for making your way to our world, our awakening world, to clearly do what you came onto this planet to do, to help humanity in this incredible time of transformation make it over the hurdle. So thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much, Veronica, each and every one of you. So grateful.
Yeah, thank you. And Veronica is based in LA. I think I saw you're still in LA, right, Veronica?
Oh, that story had changed. 7 months ago, I was guided to sell my place and travel the world. So I haven't been more than 1 or 2 weeks in any place.
You got to come to Portugal, sister. Come to Portugal.
I'm actually about to embark into Thailand next week. So I'll be doing the 4 a.m. calls just like you.
Yep.
I'm so looking forward to that.
That's amazing. Have a fantastic time in Thailand. One of my dear friends will be in Thailand. I should connect you guys.
Oh, beautiful. I would love to. Yes.
We're a big global community. As it says behind Scott, Global Peace Tribe. There is no one country that can confine us.
Are you going to be in Chiang Mai?
I'm sorry.
Chiang Mai in Thailand?
Yes. I'm just getting confirmation from my boyfriend that we are. He's somewhere in the clouds on this side.
Well, have a great time. It's Chiang Mai.
Thank you.
It's very, very, very special. Yeah, we had Montauk Chia on the show about 2 months ago. And of course, he's based in Chiang Mai. So thank you. Beautiful to meet you, Veronica. Thank you.
And I do have an announcement from Kimberly. God bless her. We all need to send her a little healing. She had been dealing with a little food poisoning before she came on. And so she needs to rest a little bit. And we're just going to send her waves of love for health and wholeness. And of course, you can go to her website or join us for the class in April. But there's so many. I mean, she is on major stages all the time, or you can book time with her either online or in person.
There she is. All right, so let's all send her. She's still with us. So there she is. So let's all send wonderful healing energy.
I didn't leave yet.
Oh, I didn't know if you were still there.
Glad you're still here.
Go
So
rest. We want to give you a big hug, Kimberly. Go rest, my friend. Feel better.
maximum grace for Kimberly.
Thanks for having me here, you guys. Yeah, I'm feeling better, actually. I just don't eat things that you leave out for several hours. Not a good idea.
Oh, feel better. I've had it myself, so I hope you feel better.
Yeah, I
quickly.
wanted to do a couple more readings, but
I think you got to honor yourself. As all healers know, you need to honor yourself first, because we're not our best if we can't, take care of ourselves.
I like to play and do more readings. No.
Aw.
So are you saying that you'd like to do more readings, or are you saying that you want to go home? What do you want?
I don't know. I guess I should rest, but maybe I'll come back soon.
Yeah, we'll have you
Absolutely.
on again, Kimberly. Scott and I are always co-producing shows, and he knows you too and can always invite you on anytime. So
Oh.
look out. We'll have Kimberly back on another time, and just sending her love and grace for healing.
Okay. Love you guys.
Love you,
Love
Kim.
Kimberly.
And we are going to have a really special guest, Maureen Edwardson, making her debut. She actually was on The Awakening World briefly when we honored Connie and Andrew. But just before we bring her on for kind of a closing experience, then we're going to have one more Fanny and Vigari song. I really want to encourage those of you who are watching on Facebook or on YouTube, come join the Global Peace Tribe. Hopefully by now you've seen, and I recognize a lot of you are watching the recording as well. So whether you're with us live or watching the recording, this is an amazing group. And you know, after every show we do, and we do 3 or 4 shows a week, honestly, after every show, I go, that was a really good show. Each one has its own magic, its own unique guests, its own unique experience. Tonight has been incredible. It's been totally uplifting. And obviously each presenter has touched our hearts and awakened within us memories or wisdom or even healing. So come join the Global Peace Tribe if you haven't already. Now, all the people in our Zoom room, they have. That's how they got into the Zoom room. They have joined the Global Peace Tribe. They registered, and you can register for as little as $20. So just go to Global Peace Tribe, learn about us, click the registration button. And one thing that a lot of people are doing, including a couple of people who just registered tonight, is if you register at a higher level, you can register for $20, $35, or $75. And for those who register at the higher level, you can also provide them a gift subscription to a friend of yours. And we had a couple people who did that already tonight, and we've had, I think, about 24 people are sending me now the names and the email addresses of their friends that they want to give gift subscriptions to. So this is a wonderful way for us to grow our tribe, and we're going to be in having a retreat in Southern California in later March. And hopefully a lot of us are now going to go to Glastonbury. That's going to be pretty fun. And you were there, you watched how it all evolved just tonight. So we're going to be in Asheville, North Carolina in October, and probably other things as well. There's a lot going on. So come join the Global Peace Tribe. And you get to meet wonderful new people like Maureen. Jennifer, tell us about this wonderful woman that you know.
Well, Maureen and I, we actually knew each other from Awake TV. Wasn't that how we originally connected, Maureen?
That's correct.
Oh my gosh, she's a beautiful soul. I don't know if people can still go find those wonderful shows that you used to do on Awake, but Maureen is just one of the most profound healers. You're in British Columbia. Is that where you are, Maureen?
That's correct. White Rock.
Yeah, she's in British Columbia. And yeah, you're just too busy for us at Home Heals. That's why we don't get to have you on, because she has a waiting list a mile long. And I always tell everybody that is my intention, for all of my healer friends, is that I intend you are all so busy that you don't even need Home Heals or any of that, that you have waiting lists, just like Maureen does, just to get to work with her. So Maureen, thank you for all the beauty, all the love and light that you bring to the world.
Oh, thank you. It's my great joy. And that's why I'm here. And I believe if I wasn't in my passion, being in my purpose, in that greater service, that I wouldn't be here, because that is what enlivens me. And it brings me so much fulfillment to help people wake up to their own gifts. And yes, we're just going to go vertical here. We're going to go vertical, Veronica, with a quantum experience here with inner resonance technologies, otherwise known as IRT. And there's nothing to know. There's nothing to experience in that sense through the body, because as Dr. Bruce Lipton tells us, we're all out of our minds, and our mind is in the field all around us. So IRT is a formula of questions that activates the part of you that knows that greater truth of who you truly are, and knows what's essential, what's no longer essential, and that can then clear the field, neutralize the patterns of information in energetic forms, so that that's where we go beyond the mind and beyond the body's need to act anything out. So it is bringing everything together from all the beautiful techniques and modalities tonight. And once you've gone through just a simple experience of IRT, then you're able to just encapsulate all that, because this is like a super duper frag antiviral program for your supercomputer that we're all sitting in. And Dr. William Brown of the Resonance Academy, I've been associated with Resonance Science and Nassim Haramein since '07, officially as '09. I was in the very first class with Nassim in '09 down in California there in Joshua Tree. And to be able to sit in a room with 300, 400 people of like mind and understandings was actually really phenomenal, especially at any time, but especially back then. So that was really amazing. And I'm the author of a book called Your Magical Evolutionary Code Unleashed, The Science of Inner Resonance, blessed to be endorsed on the front cover by Dr. Bruce Lipton. And so it's just really, there's so many blessings, we just show up and people say, well, how did you create, how did you originate, IRT? And I said, well, just my middle name is, I just happened to be there and just followed my nose. And lily pad jumping is another term, you follow to, what is drawing your heart, and then you get a view of something or several things over here. And so that's how we go from moment to moment when we're present. And so IRT helps people wake up to the truth of who they are and automatically and effortlessly clear everything that is no longer relevant, no longer necessary to drag forward, that's in informational patterns in your field. Because as William Brown teaches, and it's just such a profound teaching, this nugget, and I bumped into him and I said, William, am I telling people the right thing here? I don't want to be misrepresenting your science or telling lies to people. And because I'm not a scientist. And so he said, oh yeah, you're absolutely right. And so in William's world, the body has 100 trillion cells. Bruce Lipton talks about 50. I don't know. There's all these varying numbers. What's a few trillion between friends? So 100 trillion cells. I like that number. And of each tiny neuron in each tiny neuron in that trillion cellular system has 100,000 potential connections. Each one of those 100,000 potential connections of each neuron has 85 billion wormholes into other dimensional realities. So we're a rock and quantum supercomputer, like, oh my God. And we are infinite in nature. So we're sitting in an instant responder in a quantum limitless machine called the body, an experiencer of our consciousness. And in connection and it's in synergy and in partnership with and oneness with infinite consciousness. So what's the deal? Like, what's all the stuff in between? I call that static, and it's here to give us an experience. And as so many people have said, yes, we've come into an experience, and the soul knows what we're choosing as an experience. And so what I also believe in this particular lifetime is that we are here to experience ourselves as our consciousness running the show into the physical realm. And in fact, the word human, Hu, is another name for God. So we really truly are God man. It's just hiding in plain sight. And so we're here to integrate higher consciousness into this physical realm. And so this is our opportunity with IRT. Sometimes people will say, because it's so effortless and so fast, people have healed broken bones in 10 minutes doing this protocol. And people like Connie and Andrew Cameron Bailey, who are on the call in the background, you've met before, I'm sure, many times over. It's really wonderful. Miracles happen after miracles. However, it's just science. It's who we are. And once we have the formula and we have the access to that frequency, then you can embed it somewhere on your body and activate yourself on a daily basis to clear automatically and effortlessly all of the information in your field that's just interfering with you unnecessarily. So rather than be a bypass, it just clears out what's unnecessary so that you can be fully present for what is necessary, for what is important for you to experience and to understand and to engage with in clear, more efficient ways. So it plays well with others. It allows us to, once you've gone through this experience that I'll give you in just a moment, takes longer to talk about it than actually do it. And that way you'll have your magic activation switch. So before and after any other healing modalities, before and after everything that you do, before and after, some people need to take medication for one reason or another. Like Bruce Lipton teaches, we are not what we ingest. We are what the consciousness of the cell allows to be metabolized. And so there we are, with that ability to filter out any unwanted effects. So we're powerful beyond measure. And it's really fun to be able to play in the field and practice our mastery. And we're on a journey as well. However, going vertical is really awesome. And so many of you, all of you tonight, I really appreciate all of our resonance and the golden wisdom and the nuggets that we all contribute and have to share with others. And so here we are. Yes, we are immortal, George. Consciousness runs the body. So there is no program for death in the body. I'm going to be starting a program in springtime, planning for Easter. Actually, I'm not quite sure exactly the date yet, but it's the cosmic chrysalis, and it's activating our evolutionary codes into that greater place. And so in the meantime, there's a program coming up, but I'll put it in the chat in a moment. It's on my website, maureenedwardson.com, and it's in the column called who do you think you are? Are you only human? That expression, oh, I'm only human, sorry, you don't get to escape anymore. You have ability to respond and a responsibility to be your greatest self. So to be Michelangelo, when Michelangelo was asked, how did you create David? He was so incredible. Like, wow, that's beyond understanding. That's really remarkable, beyond remarkable. How did you do that? And he said, oh, David was already in the block of marble. All I did was chip away everything that was not him. So that's what IRT allows us to do, is to neutralize and to shift everything that's not the truth of who we are. And we are magnificent. We are spirit having a physical experience. And we know that in concept, but in practice and in reality, we're a little bit behind the 8 ball. So it's time, to wake up and shift it all. We're in the time of the great shift. We're in that precipice of the 6th world mass extinction. Oh my God. But I really believe that we have the blueprint of the butterfly within our human, within our physical body. So I'm an optimist. And I have great hope, and I see the miracles every day for people. Yes, I think Connie and Andrew put something in the chat about some of their experience. And my website has Andrew's testimonial on that page. So you can have a look at that at any time. So here we go. Are you ready to go for your magic carpet ride?
Yeah, what's our experience? Latest on our experience.
Bring it all together. Bring it all together into this beautiful spot of limitless potential. And all the wonderful experiences we've had are now about to be integrated and accessible to us at any time in that chemical signature that the brain recognizes through the associative conditions that we are all part of here tonight. So taking a breath and just breathing with awareness and remembering who we are. That's the breath of life, the breath of consciousness, the breath of unity, of oneness, of the all of everything that is. We're breathing in the recycled atmosphere, molecules of memory, as the scientists tell us, from the whole history of the planet. So physically, we are one by breathing all my relations. We are spirit, infinite in nature. So breathing with awareness of the greater truth of who you really are. An opportunity simultaneously to invite all of your spiritual team, all of your helpers in the unseen, all your supporters, all your cheerleaders, all your guides, saying yes and thank you, keeping it simple. They know who they are. And just breathing in our I am presence of our infinite selves. And so what does the body have to say about that? Our body is that miracle machine, but it's been dumbed down. It's been shut down. It's been switched off. It's been diminished in our conditioning and our experiences of pain and trauma. So let's just switch it back on. Haha, we have the power to activate it because we're sitting in the supercomputer. Guess what? It's voice activated. So to create a full receptivity of all our greatest programs that know exactly how to be instantly responding to infinite consciousness. Guess what? The words are switch on body or activate body. So I'm going to count to 3 and let's just have a chorus of that wherever we are into that great morphogenic field and activate our field collectively here now. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, switch on body.
Switch on body.
Yay! Great, great choir here. Thank you for being the voice of the collective. And so now we're at the command center, believe it or not. We are actually in charge, whether we know it or not. So, hey, we're not used to commanding. So the bridging language is I am choosing, because we are in a free will universe and we do have choice. So I am choosing, and if it's all right with you guys, we're just going to kind of be generalized for everyone's specific conditions. I kind of do double talk and say we can be specifically general or generally specific. So here we are, allowing all issues, all unresolved issues, known and unknown, that are no longer relevant, no longer needing or serving any useful positive purpose on any aspect of who we are. The freedom for neutralizing, for shifting in whatever way is wanted and needed, and your higher self knows what that is. And allowing all levels of memory to be addressed. This is a one-stop shopping that with our quantum selves, everything is present right here, right now in informational patterns of energy. And so we're allowing then everything and anything that is unnecessarily interfering with us physically, perhaps emotionally, mentally, spiritually, sometimes financially, always relationships, because everything's related. It's all entangled. It's all connected. It's all one. And so then addressing all the levels of memory, if we want to go linear, your whole life, every microsecond of your life, going all the way back to when you popped into the world, all the time you swam around inside, drinking up your mama's soup, right to the moment of conception and beyond, all the ancestral memory of your DNA. It's in your collective field. And then all the soul memory, past, present, concurrent parallel, future, all collapse into this freshness, precious moment of this moment, which is all we ever have, the power of now, be here now. All the great spiritual masters know it's all about presence. So this just allows us to be present in a new level of freedom, free to choose again. Isn't that cool? We get to always choose again. And so now all the galactic memory, we know something of that, whatever that means to you individually. There's lots of doo-doo in that field. And then also the greater cosmic field of wholeness. We're opening the door really, really wide because we're that big. We're that expansive. All righty then. So now we go into some agreements. So are we allowing all of our multidimensional selves to be coherently realigned around that next level of expression of our grandest, most magnificent self, free and clear of what's no longer relevant, strong and healthy, happy for no reason, ridiculously joyful, having passion and purpose with your gifts starting to bubble up and inspire you and get creative and collaborate and come together in community. Like, how sweet is this? This is the time that we're all here for. And so now bringing all of our energies together into this next level, we're going to go into some agreements. And these are agreements that you're making with your higher self and your superconscious level and the all of everything that is. I don't do anything to you or for you. I developed the system that allows you to catalyze and activate your own self direct in that vertical way, so that when you travel along, you do so with greater ease and grace. I've heard those words tonight too. And so here we are. Are you choosing to allow? And remember, the only answer is yes. This is all predisposed to yes, but somebody's got to ask the question. They're pretty obvious questions. And so are you choosing to allow all of this to unfold into the next level of your greater expression of wholeness, and freedom to be more of yourself than ever before in all the best ways, to allow all this to unfold in the safest and most appropriate way for you and all concerned at all times? Yes. And are you choosing greater ease and gentleness than you ever thought possible? I mean, haven't we been in the struggle zone for all this time? What if we can then all of a sudden shift into a different paradigm where it doesn't have to be so hard and allow openness to that next potential? Who knows? Let's go see. And are you allowing effortless grace to guide the way to instant and permanent shift for what's ready? And that's all the stuff that's no longer serving any useful positive purpose on any aspect. And so now allowing the part of you that's open to something different being possible in a different way than what we're used to also be in charge? Yes. And are you allowing the part of you that's ready to be more of who you truly are, free to express your compassion, your tolerance, your love, your joy, all the gifts of spirit? This is the truth of us. And then from that platform, we get to really play, our evolutionary codes and, start to create, all of these incredible miracles that then automatically start to express. That's could be really fun. And so now allowing the part of you that is saying yes to all of this, that's open to going to see what's possible, to also be in charge. And there's one last question. Oh, there was another one I missed, and that is allowing the part of us, effortless grace for instant and permanent for what's ready and for what may not be ready, to trust that we are on this journey and everything is unfolding in its own time, in its own way, with different experiences of different modalities and different ways of being in that bigger picture that we don't have yet. And so trusting at a deeper level that all is always well. And now one last question, and that is are you choosing to allow the part of you that knows how the heck to go do all this beyond your conscious mind, beyond your ability to even track consciously, or need to think or do or make anything happen in this moment, and beyond your body's need to act anything out? So this is beyond awareness. This is beyond the conscious mind. This is beyond the body's need to act anything out unnecessarily, because everything is in our field and our body is like radio receiving the signals. So we're addressing the signals and neutralizing the signals, transforming them, shifting them somehow, releasing what's no longer serving our greater good automatically and effortlessly from our quantum reality in the vertical aspect of our spiritual beingness. Yes, yes, yes. And allowing now that part of you beyond your awareness to go play in that great mystery where everything is available, everything is present. Exactly. Yes, yes, and yes again. And now there's nothing to do and everything to allow. And so as we allow all of our higher self and our quantum reality beyond time, beyond space, and beyond the beyond of effort, then everything is magically shifting. And oh my goodness, this next few days, the next week, pay attention, because it will be so incredibly amazing what happens for you. And so now just taking a moment to be present somewhere that's lovely. Actually, this is the end of IRT, and we actually like experience. So let's give ourselves the experience of being present somewhere in a happy place or peaceful. There's no time for a quick nap. That's sometimes an option because we're out of our head and into our heart. And just notice how deeply and how quickly this takes you into those next levels of relaxation, of allowing. And just be present and know I am. And be aware of your heart centers as you breathe in and out from all directions to all directions, through your breath, through your heart, filling up your heart with love and gratitude for all the beautiful healers and the energies and everyone in the audience. all of us in our morphic field here together, that creates such an uplifted frequency. Just breathing it in and being still and knowing I am. And as we breathe in and out with our heart filled with gratitude, with love, with appreciation, choose a spot somewhere. We're going to create a sort of like an anchor and chemical memory in the brain, which is the associative condition. So, we can choose wherever we want. The heart is nice, isn't it? Tongue in the roof of your mouth if you're busy with your hands a lot. But choose wherever you want. There's no wrong spot. And so as you notice and you're present with that touch and the feeling of deeper relaxation and perhaps lightness, expansiveness, whatever it is, breathing in and out, 360 with all those beautiful feelings of gratitude and love and appreciation. And now you're all well marinated, live streaming, multiply streaming. And I invite you into 5 deeper breaths to create a new program of wholeness, new frequency of greater freedom to be more of yourself than ever before. So as you touch your spot, you're just breathing in. And as you breathe out, just let your hands drop or your tongue, wherever you are. The next in-breath, touch again. And breathing out, letting go. 3 more times on your own rhythm. Breathing in, touching. Breathing out, letting go. And why 5? 5, subconscious gets something the first time it's a bit different or a lot different. And it goes, what? How did that happen? And how long is it going to last? And the next second and third time, it gets received and acknowledged on the logical and emotional sides of the brain. 4th is greater integration, and it's really nice little platform to jump up and down in balance. And at 5, oh my gosh, 5, we all know about 5, everyone here on the call. 5 is the 5th dimension. 5 is the 5th element that scientists ascribe to ether, to consciousness. 5 is the equilateral triangle, sacred geometry. 5 is the planet Venus, the number of love. 5 is the honeycomb, the perfect building block of nature. We can go on and on about 5. 5 is beautiful. Yeah, 5. I like that, Omashar. Thanks. I love it. Yes, exactly. The 5-pointed star, the Vitruvian Man, and the Merkaba. All these different geometries all intersect and connect. So yes, that short video is also on my website, and it's a young man that had a brief experience with me and loved it so much, wanted to share it with the world. So unbeknownst to me, he actually created a little video with sound and with all my words taken from my book. Oh yeah, there's my website. Thanks, Scott. And there's this little video there. I built the site myself, so I'm not terribly techie, so you have to kind of press on the buttons to make it go. But there you go. Who do you think you are? You're only human. And if you go down a little bit more, yep. See January 2023 programs. We started one today that happened at 12 called Essential IRT that has also an experience with information. However, the one starting next week is 5 Saturdays alternating every other week is Be Michelangelo, and it's pure experience, no talking. Can you believe that for me? And no teaching. We just gather in silence and we have a group experience, then come back in silence. And I've pre-prepared people with an evolutionary protocol of the IRT, where we focus on all of our spiritual beingness and then allow everything automatically to just dissolve away. That's not the truth of us. automatically and effortlessly. And so it's a fast track. It's the time of the quickening. And so it takes everything and puts it into a quantum potential of the all of everything that is ready to wake up and ready to be shifted in order to be more of our greater selves. So yes, thank you so much for the time spontaneously to be here. As I say, my middle name is I just happen to be there, and I'm so grateful for you, Scott, for your receptivity, and Jennifer, to allow me to party crash your
It's not a party crash. It's like I said, it's all the same. We're all in this together.
We're having a party, right? We're having a party. So that's what I love. Exactly.
Well, and in honoring the party, I'm bringing on our presenters that are still with us, so we can thank them. We will, of course, conclude with Fanny and Vigari. But one more time, just want to bring our presenters, each and every one of you, so wonderful and so grateful. So let's all give a big Global Peace Tribe twinkle to our musical artists and our presenters tonight. It was another wonderful, amazing Awakening World show. Absolutely amazing. Thank you again, Maureen. Thank you, Brenda, Veronica, Aurora, Holly, Omashar, Jennifer. You always do such an amazing job bringing in all of these people. And we're going to conclude with a Fanny and Vigari closing song. I do want to just remind people real quickly, tomorrow we complete this weekend. And this first full week, really, of the new year. Remember to mute, everybody. Remember to mute. Tomorrow we are concluding with our Sacred Sunday show, and it's going to be really wonderful. We've got about once every 4 to 6 weeks, we bring on the artists catalyzing evolution, and they're going to be honoring Rick Golfick, who's in the hospital waiting for a heart transplant. So Keishi's going to dance, Kristen is going to sing, Summer's going to dance, Ivy's going to play music, Charles Gibbs is going to do a poem, and Cara Stonehouse is doing a whole impossible for me to describe in one sentence thing. So it's going to be a special Sacred Sunday show, so please do join us tomorrow. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our beloveds, Fanny and Vigari, to close us out. They play the most beautiful music to kind of just wind down, take all that we've digested, Maureen's experience, everything we've experienced, and digest it with Fanny and Vigari music.
Thank you so much. This was a wonderful talk, Maureen. I really like the inspiration, the aliveness, the excitement of being alive. It's beautiful. Thank you. This one is called Let the Music Play. As we heal each other, I hope I see you dance on the dance floor of the Global Peace Tribe.
music play.
For universal peace, peace.
Let the music play.
For peace and unity. The healing of the heart is peace and harmony. The healing of the heart is peace and unity. The healing of
The healing
is love for you and me. The healing of
the healing.
humanity. You will my you will my I say thank you for the music in the world. I say thank you for the healing of the world. I say thank you for the dance with our children, with the elders, with the thoughts of loving each other. For the healing everywhere, to see our children dancing, laughing, filled with joy. That's what I live for.
Wow. Gonna go to gallery view, everybody. Let's give them a good twinkle. So beautiful to see all of you moving and dancing, and just what a beautiful collection of divine emanations of the one eternal beloved. Thank you so much, Fanny and Vigari. It's always so good to have you with us. And again, a reminder, you can get their music at Bandcamp. They are the Mystiques, 1111. We certainly will see them again on the Awakening World soon, I'm sure. Well, it's been an amazing show. I'm going to bring up Jennifer one last time. Jennifer, thank you so much. Now, do you go to bed now, or do you have a full day?
Second sleep, second nap. So hopefully, if the universe is kind, I will get another 4 hours of sleep.
Maximum grace for sleep for you, and maximum grace, everybody. Thank you again, all of our presenters. What a beautiful show. I'm going to go to gallery view. We're going to all say good night, and hopefully I'll see many of you tomorrow morning for our Sacred Sunday show.
All right. Much love, everyone. Thanks again.
Global Peace Tribe, good night.